I'm not God.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone's having a fantastic afternoon. I don't know if you have heard the news.
I'm not God.
Or not. No headphones because I'm not debating. Okay.
I'm not God.
Thank you for the subscriptions, Gold Smog, Decoy Octopus, Aiden Stairman Jr., Fed Files, Argentino, and Lake McGrew for the gifted subs. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Hark Dan, thank you for the host. Thank you for the fat host, Hark Dan. Nice of you. So
I'm not God.
I guess there's some. I've heard that there's some drama going on, and I guess I have to address it, considering that a lot of people are going to want me to address that. Now, before we get started, I'm not gonna lie. I was very depressed, very stressed out. Couldn't sleep last night.
I'm not
massive
God.
headaches. And I feel a lot better now that I took a day off work, collected my thoughts, played a little bit of basketball. That's why I'm sweaty right now and
I'm
really
not
red.
God.
This cloud shit is funny, man.
This cloud shit is funny, man. What's up, Hark Dan? To be honest, I feel relatively relieved.
Sorry, I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
It's kind of like experiencing a breakup with like a bad girlfriend that you didn't know was a bad girlfriend until the end, when you like found out that I don't know, like she was cheating on you the entire time or something, and you were just getting cucked the whole time. But within that experience, there is a little bit of solace, a little bit of comfort, knowing that you're leaving behind something that maybe you should have been more skeptical about.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize.
There were,
for
of
that.
course, a lot of people in my audience that probably came here from Destiny's audience that said stuff like, hey man, don't trust Destiny. He is a descriptive egoist. He mentions this all the time. He is personally invested only in himself, and that he would, he's not interested in like advancing any political goals, which he said multiple times too. I still always was like, that's not true. Destiny calls himself a sociopath. I don't think that's true. I think that he has
God.
a lot of compassion hidden behind those baby blues. I certainly feel kind of like an asshole. I feel as though I was a little wrong. I still think that Destiny's impact is deeply important, and he does have the capacity to de-radicalize a lot of people, which I truly appreciate him for. Something that I've said numerous times on numerous occasions.
I'm sorry.
Perhaps
I'm out of control.
every
I
single
apologize for that.
time I stream, almost every single day. I think the place I need to start off with is my perspective on debates in general. Because I feel as though a lot of people felt hurt, including Destiny.
Me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control.
About
I apologize for that.
my revelations on what I think about the rigorous intellectual sparring that occurs on the internet blood sports, debates, all that sort of stuff. And I need to make my position more clear, I guess. I thought that everyone always knew this. I thought that we were all under the same assumption, but I guess I was wrong. Okay? So let me just say that debates are not for truth seeking. Debates are not for like actually assessing ideas critically. Debates, even in a college format, by the way, like even in a college debate format, the achievements that you get from a debate is not constructive criticism. It's just learning rhetoric and scoring points over the audience, over your opponent. Sorry. Debates are pseudo-intellectual wrestling, like WWF. And I thought that we were all under that same assumption, but I guess not. I think that there are certain people who genuinely believe that like the debates that they engage in are at the height of intellectualism. This is not a diss on Destiny, by the way. And I will get into specific arguments. But this is not a diss on Destiny. This is not a diss on his audience. This is simply my opinion on what debates are and how to effectively win debates. Okay? So, and a lot of people on the left feel this way as well, which is why I love Destiny and still appreciate what he has done thus far. I can't speak to what he will do in the future, and I certainly can't speak to what he has done to me over the course of the past, I guess, 4 or 5 hours. But yes, like I said, debates are not for arriving at the truth. You could literally have a quantum physicist and someone who is a skilled rhetorician face off against one another on the subject of quantum physics, and the skilled rhetorician could technically utilize those tools to overwhelm their opponent and make it seem as though they have won the conversation. Perhaps this is a perfect example of why intellectual sparring is not exactly an intellectual conquest. Now, that doesn't mean that debates cannot be useful. Of course they can. As Destiny and I both agree, the 20-40-40 rule applies. 40% of the audience is firmly on one side, 40% of the audience is firmly on the other, and 20% can go either way. And that could be really effective in de-radicalizing people. And I think Destiny has proven to do this successfully. But do not think for a brief moment that it is exclusively because my man is the arbiter of all things true and logical and morally consistent.
Excuse me.
Now,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get into this in a little bit. We're gonna talk about like step by step all of the things that happened in our conversation with the Kamala Harris stuff, what happened to the aftermath of that. But I just wanted to get my perspective out there one last time about, like I said, about how I feel about debates and why people got so mad, because I think they thought that I'm not reading this off of a script, by the way. I saw someone in the chat that said he's literally reading this off of a script. No, I mean this is my personal opinion. So, okay. The reason why I mentioned this, the reason why I mentioned my opinion on debates is because I feel like some people genuinely assumed that I was like butthurt, that I got owned in the marketplace of ideas with logic and reasoning, and that's why I'm like coming out and saying this. This has always been my point on debates. This has always been why what I wanted to get out of our relationship with Destiny outside of like friendship. Obviously, I always wanted to get better at debating people, and I think I have been I've been able to do that. I've gotten better at at debating.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
So for that, I am thankful. I'm thankful for the Twitch clout that Destiny has given me. That was very nice.
I'm not God.
Weird
I hope
shit.
that I have some moderators who will regulate probably the comments that I'm going to be getting in my chat. We don't have to do sub mode. Okay, physics is not open to interpretation. Interesting point. Okay, let's say climate change. Ben
Excuse
Shapiro
me.
could
I'm
absolutely
sorry.
obliterate
I'm out of control. I
a
apologize
scientist
for that.
rhetorically, but that doesn't mean he's right. Anyway. The reason why I mentioned my perspective on debates is because
I'm not God.
I also have said numerous times that Destiny is like the Ben Shapiro of the left, which a lot of people have gotten upset over. Now, if your opponent is obviously operating with no premises whatsoever, you don't even need to utilize additional tools like
Excuse
appeals
me.
to
I'm
emotion
sorry. I'm out of
or
control.
other
I
logic,
apologize for that.
other logical fallacies, and numerous different logical fallacies that would technically help you win an argument, like presenting false dilemmas, hypotheticals, disingenuously claiming that you are interested in testing out the moral boundaries of a moral system that your opponent is constructing, because if the moral system that your opponent is constructing
Excuse
in
me.
that
I'm sorry. I'm out
in
of
that
control.
moment
I apologize for that.
is launched off of a faulty analogy, you might not even be able to answer that appropriately in a moment. And I think Destiny has been able to do this very successfully, and his audience as well has been able to weaponize this through the form of memes. Probably one of the best examples we can look back at from the past couple of days is Hasan wants children to starve to death.
Excuse
He
me.
said it so
I'm sorry.
himself.
I'm out of control. I apologize for
If
that.
you consider that to be a charitable interpretation and not me misspeaking, then yeah, then go ahead. You are correct. I guess that's what I want to do. Meme away. Those memes, of course, then become reality to some respect when it's repeated over and over and over again. I don't need to go back to the poo-poo pants piker jokes that turned into the definition of browning out, literally
Excuse me.
changing in the
I'm
Urban
sorry.
Dictionary for
I'm out
years
of
to
control. I
come.
apologize for that.
Now, we will get into the faulty analogies here in a second.
I'm not God.
Poo poo piker Pepe laugh.
You're unironically giving the Digibro perspective on debates and argumentation? Absolutely not. I'm not simply stating that Kamala Harris is bad because you know she's bad. I'm saying Kamala Harris is bad because her track record and her inconsistencies show me that she would make for a bad leader, especially in regards to lying about being a progressive DA. Progressive DAs do exist. Larry Krasner is a perfect example of this. Kamala Harris, despite some progressive marks on her reputation, is not. A progressive DA stands up for the people in times when it's not politically viable for her to do so. Kamala Harris's perspective, or Kamala Harris's track record, is the opposite of that. Having suffered having suffered backlash from doing that in certain times, she has gone back on her positions, and I think expanded on that in my you don't like Kamala Harris or whatever video. Anyway, like I said, we're going to get back into it, and I'm going to go through the examples personally. So, for those of you who are still confused as to what my position is on cops or DAs,
God.
So you guys are in
I
the
don't
friendship
think
over
that
Kamala Harris?
policing should
Feels
not
bad,
exist.
man.
I don't think that DAs are automatically bad, but I do think that there is such a thing as a progressive district attorney, and Kamala Harris portrays herself as a progressive district attorney, and her track record shows something entirely different. That is the main thesis. The points I've brought up are backing that conclusion, and we can have a conversation about whether or not I shouldn't have said schools were kicking undocumented immigrants out, or whether I should have expanded on that further, which I admitted in our conversation. I should have
And
expanded
Hasan,
on that a
obviously
little
you
bit
look
further
more picture
in
of
order
his
to
smile.
not have any confusion. Like, that was the first concession I gave Destiny, despite maintaining the position that, functionally speaking, children were deported, or like literally undocumented children were
I
deported
wish Dad
from
would stop
school
fighting with Dad.
for the suspicion of misdemeanors. I gave examples in the subreddit, and having a 2-hour conversation over whether
Excuse
that
me.
point
I'm
is
sorry.
not true or
I'm
not
out of control. I
by
apologize for
engaging
that.
in hypotheticals such as, you wouldn't call the cops ever. You wouldn't call the cops ever if they're standing outside loitering in your and then they get arrested because they're undocumented. Are you responsible? Should you call the cops ever? Banking on ACAB memes, Bernie bro memes, creating this idea that I'm simply just a Bernie bro, and that's why I'm Bernie or bust, not going to vote for anyone, and I'm just an unironic propagandist, is silly, and I think goes beyond over the top. But I guess for some people it's enough, which I understand. If you want to think critically about my videos, you should. Everyone should. That's a good thing. I urge you to have that same kind of skepticism and critical thinking when it comes to Destiny's takes as well. Especially the last one that people are already memeing into oblivion, that some people actually took seriously, which I think showcases that he is not a good faith debater, that he is not the arbiter of all things true. And I'm going to start off with that, and then we're going to get into the actual Kamala Harris debate point by point. Okay. So I know that Destiny clarified that he's still a friend and whatever. I don't think what Destiny did is something that you would do to a friend, or maybe he has a different concept of what he considers, or a different concept of like how friendships are cultivated and maintained. I think starting with the Buddha Justice or Buttigieg, whatever the fuck, memes, I don't think that's something that a friend would literally do. Like, it was so disingenuous that I'm fairly certain that you would have to be an absolute sycophant to consider, even for a brief moment, that was not Destiny purposefully making it seem, like insinuating that I was engaging in unintentional homophobia. Okay?
Reality-based and illusion argues in bad faith. His parents and I are disappointed in him.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
Where is it? Listen to the combo at 1:15:45, calling Hasan out for using booty justice, defending your use of gay people's existence as an insult. Nice. What is this? Wait, by the way, like, just for the record, I'm trying to find, I don't know where the clip is. Thank you. I'm trying to find the clip of Destiny reaching the conclusion that I was homophobic, and the pure excitement you can see on his face as he realizes that he can use this as a talking point against me. And I don't know where the clip is. I don't know if he deleted it or not, but I have to find that. I mean, if anyone legitimately considers that to be an argument in good faith, and by the way, I know he didn't say Hasan is homophobic. I don't consider Hasan to be homophobic. I'm saying that the way he utilized that situation is 100%. That is 100% bad faith. That is not a homophobic joke. If I can find the clip, that would be nice. Harkdan talking
I'm
about it.
not God.
Wait, you can't know that he was thinking that internally. Yeah, I can make assumptions. If Destiny is allowed to make assumptions about, or assertions about how I am a disingenuous, bad faith propagandist who engages in misinformation, then I think that it's reasonable to conclude, considering that Mr. Morality has had different perspectives in the past about context and what's contextually appropriate in regards to the Buttigieg situation. Hold on. The test is, would you say Buttigieg if he was straight? 100% yes. The test is not me calling him Buttigieg because he's gay. The test is me saying Buttigieg in the original joke that he watched on stream, me saying Buttigieg, Buttigieg, and then going Buttigieg, whatever. It's really difficult to say his name. Him claiming that this is just like the F word, or him making these awful points is just. Hold on, let's just watch this.
The reason to make the joke is to invoke the fact that he's gay. Wait, is Pete gay? Oh, whoa, holy shit. Wait, those comments are super homophobic. Wait, what the fuck? No way.
Destiny claims that he was excited to find out
I'm
that
not God.
Mayor Pete was gay in this moment. I believe that Destiny was more so excited for a new opportunity where he could, try to launch an accusation, which I legitimately think is in bad faith.
Oh, shit. It's literally making fun of his name? I would be incredibly uncomfortable calling a guy that's gay Pete Buttigieg. What the fuck? That's horrible. Reason to make the
Now, there was a Pete Buttigieg account literally called Pete Buttigieg before he had ever came out. People didn't even know he was gay in 2014.
Excuse me.
That's
I'm sorry.
that's one
I'm out of
reason
control.
for.
I apologize for
I
that.
would say that that's like a good enough reason to assert. Maybe that account changed its name, so I don't know. But if it is true that, but if it is actually true that there was an account named Pete Buttigieg before Pete Buttigieg actually it came out, then obviously other people also considered making fun of this person's name. I have made fun of Amy Cloutbootjar and her last name. I call Tulsi Gabbard's fans Tulsels. I called Tommy Lauren Tomato Lasagna. These are incredibly childish, bottom of the barrel name changes. And to think that, like, I don't think that he's trying to cancel me, but to even insinuate
I'm not
that
God.
I was, to even
Hey, what are you
insinuate
doing on Destiny's
that I was
platform?
actually engaging willingly in homophobia or unwilling or unknowingly engaging in homophobia is such a dishonest stretch that I'm fairly certain even the most diehard of
I'm
Destiny
not
sycophants
God.
will look at that and probably say, yeah, that's kind of weird. What is this?
I really do not give a fuck if you go watch Hasan. Go. I don't care. Run along, little children. Literally, if that's who you're into, then fucking go. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck. You know what does give a fuck though? It's frustrating. It's a little bit annoying. I'll say this. When some of you dumb fucks watch both of us, and then you somehow get confused into thinking we're alike, that a little bit bothers me. Because I live in fucking reality. Hasan, he lives in fairy tale unicorn land, where everything is a travesty and nothing happens and nothing matters, and we're gonna, I guess, politicize some magical fucking fairy tale system that's never gonna happen. So though I can see how you would make the correlation that these two things are the same, but actually different. I'm glad that I could be here to clear that up for you. I really do not give a fuck if you go watch.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment of what Destiny was trying to say. I don't think that he was genuinely simply just petty, upset, jealous, maybe even like went back on his original opinion on like platforming me or whatever. I don't think it was like that at all. I think that is a fair assessment of what Destiny meant. It is understandable that a lot of people looked at this, especially certain parts of this, where Destiny mentions like our audiences like kind of leaking into one another, or I don't know, our audience is leaking into one another, or like me gaining momentum or whatever. I don't think he meant that.
Even if it means fighting these issues out in court.
Court is in session. And the Honorable Booty Judge is...
Whoa. This is terms of service, guys. Hold on.
I got muted for literally
I
the
can't
tamest
believe
observation.
Sean
I
Lee
demand an
would
unimpingement
send
of my free
me
speech.
this
It always wrecks the
homophobic
leftist
hate
of all.
speech from Jimmy Fallon. That is absolutely disgusting. I disavow this. I think that this is abhorrent behavior. I cannot believe that. I mean,
I'm
what's
not
next?
God.
Are we just going to
You're as
allow
God, too.
the F word to be slung in private conversations and also in public conversations? Is that where we're at as a community, everybody? That is truly disgusting to me. Wow. Jimmy Fallon, you, sir, have engaged in normalizing homophobia. That, whew, wow. You hate to see it. Jimmy Fallon, probably my favorite political commentator up until this moment. And seeing him engage in the normalization of homophobia? What if Steven Crowder, not Steven Crowder, a person who has literally murdered a gay man, what if they were to say, I hate gay people, and then turn around and call Pete Buttigieg Buttigieg? Would you guys have the same perspective then? I see you guys defending Jimmy Fallon in my chat right now, but it is absolutely disgusting that if I had $1 million, I would literally turn around and love to see if Ben Shapiro called Pete Buttigieg right after saying homosexuality is immoral. There is no context to be applied in any of these circumstances and under any of these situations, and that's my opinion. I am arguing in good faith. Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I
Fuck
apologize
you,
for
Jimmy
that.
Fallon. You are canceled. Holy shit. Anyway. So, do I think that someone who truly hates gay
I'm
people
not God.
could use Buttigieg to a homophobic degree? Absolutely. Like, absolutely. Was I doing that? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Oh, so I can say the N-word if I say I don't hate black people because all that matters is context? Yes. Yes, absolutely. There are contextually appropriate times when one can say the N-word. A black person saying the N-word is contextually appropriate. Okay? Like, this is a ridiculous conversation that we're having. Kyle
Excuse
Cashew
me.
saying the
I'm
N-word
sorry.
is not
I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
contextually appropriate. That's precisely why terms of service don't immediately ban you for using the F word or the N word in a contextually appropriate manner. Destiny himself has done this. Destiny himself personally used those boundaries while arguing against potentially saying that I was normalizing homophobia with
Not
my
gonna like
behavior.
This is such a dumb take, Hasan. Love you, but come on. It can obviously be misconstrued to be about his sexuality. Oh, Jimmy Fallon said it. I guess it's perfectly fine now. Okay.
If I was like, Pete Buttigieg is gay, lol, and then turned around and said also his last name is Buttigieg, then contextually it could be misconstrued. If I also had a history of homophobia, then contextually it could be misconstrued. The whole context argument means that we can never do the okay sign. Oh my God, this is so frustrating. I've talked about this a million gajillion times. Steve called this the gamer bro argument. You should stick to just saying it has nothing to do with his sexuality and just poking fun of his name. Of course it has nothing to do with his sexuality and it's making fun of his name. There were numerous other names that I said before coming to that one. I legitimately cannot comprehend how people assume that.
You sound insane, Aaron. Please log off, man.
I
Slept it
legitimately
off.
cannot
You can
comprehend how
too.
people actually cannot see the difference between these two circumstances. Or maybe I have a drastically different moral system than one I previously assumed I had, but I have maintained this position for a very long time. I've maintained this position in regards to Destiny using certain gamer words, and how that does not reflect upon his character now. I don't know. I don't know why people assume that like Jimmy Fallon on national TV saying Buttigieg could not be misconstrued as homophobic, but me saying it can. Please watch this. Destiny makes the same exact argument. Listen to the convo at 1:15:45.
But she has a better range advantage over Graves versus like you have to get close or in a better range to do a decent amount of damage to Kindred.
Okay.
Plus the ultimates would sort of fuck you up when you like want to one-shot her up. Unless
The Hasan Kababi one was really funny too. Like, what if I called Hasan Kababi? Is my last name Kebab? Like, does it sound like kebab at all? Like, what an idiotic argument that was. What an insanely idiotic argument that was. It is honestly, I think it was just like grasping at straw so fucking hard at that point that like he assumed that, I mean, I don't know, maybe he was saying like my name is Hasanabi and it's hard to say Hasanabi, so he's going to say Hasan Kababi instead. He's going to add other like vowels in there. Like that's a good argument, as though that's a good argument. Very cool, very tight. Like Buttigieg is how you say his last name. It's also an incredibly sophomoric attempt at humor, which I will admit, and not very funny. But, you know, some people actually like that kind of childish humor where you change someone's name to something different.
you could kill it like really fast.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
Thanks for it, and have a nice one, though.
Yeah, thanks a lot, dude. Have a good one, buddy.
Which, by the way, people can call me Kababi if they want. I don't really give a shit. That's really silly to think that I would get triggered by some shit like that.
Am I supposed to move, by the way? Or?
Yeah, get the... No, I can move you, buddy. You're good.
All right, let's hear it.
Mackenzie. All right, what up, my dude? What do you want?
All right, so I'd like to discuss your opinion of the F word.
Yeah, go. Well, we're on YouTube, so you can just fucking say it, dude. Let it fly. Be free.
All right, why do you think, like, why do you need to let it fly?
I don't need to say anything. That's kind of a weird way to start it. I mean, I could probably communicate non-verbally if I learned ASL. What do you mean?
Okay, so just really quickly, do you still hold the same opinion that you held before?
I don't care that this has the gamer word in it. It's contextually appropriate. We're literally talking about the context in which you can and can't say, the context in which you can and can't say gamer words.
Context.
Your friends call you that. Why can't I respond to your having to Jimmy
yeah,
Fallon
I think
making
in
the
general
scripted
it does,
joke
yeah.
that Pete is silly? Can you not see if you taking offense
how
to the
would you
joke in a
justify
video where
using
you're
it
sitting on him?
in the way that you did?
Yes, I think Pete Buttigieg would absolutely take offense to me and the entire video I made about his track record, which a lot of people would consider disingenuous regardless if they watched like Destiny's take on it or whatever. But it's insane to consider that, like, it's insane to think that, like, he would take offense to it because he would consider me to be a fucking homophobe.
Did.
I mean, I don't really justify it at all. That's why I pretty much never say it anymore.
Right, but you did though. Like the day after when you streamed on YouTube, you did justify it though, right?
No, I don't think I've ever justified it. I think I have pretty much consistently always said that I try not to say things like this because I think that generally it gets you a certain type of fan base that I don't want. For me personally, I don't really give a fuck about saying it or not saying it. If I'm like in a private setting with people that I know, I don't really care if I do or I don't say
Well,
it.
sure, but I mean, you weren't in a private situation, right?
Sure. I mean, I think that my fan base like knows enough about me that I don't think that I'm gonna get a big homophobic following. I guess it's possible. So I mean, I guess I don't generally care as much. But I mean, if it became like a super common part of my stream, it would probably be greater likelihood
It's
that I
not
would.
just about like getting a homophobic following, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about empowering those.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
by
out
the
of
way,
control. I apologize
just for the
that.
record, this is a conversation about saying the F word, which is hate speech, which absolutely has one concept, okay? Like the F word, which is hate speech. There's a reason why we call the F word, but we don't call Buttigieg booty judge, or the BG word, or whatever the fuck, okay? Like, there are points where you can contextually say the word, but obviously, when someone is utilizing it, the barrier of assuming that that person is homophobic and the fact that that person could be justifying homophobia is infinitely higher. This is what I mean when this is not the gamer bro take. Obviously, I'm not someone who uses the F word or even fucking say it. Like, I don't think that other people should say it. So, like I said, it's fucking insane. Unless you guys literally think that, like, we are never allowed to ever, like, because if a candidate is gay, like, you're not allowed to make fun of their last name. If their last name also, I guess, sounds like booty and it's hard to say. Thank you, Hasan Kababi, for the tier 1 sub. Like, just use density as defense in every situation where his moral system is literally just whatever my preference is. No one thinks you are a homophobe. No one says you were one, but that joke was not well thought out and very silly. It's a stupid tactic used by the far right to discredit people. I think it discredits me more than it discredits this person. And that's precisely the intention of that joke, is me making a fucking playground level joke about a person's last name being difficult to say is not meant to be like, it's not meant with the intention of like trying to dehumanize a person. It's literally just, I'm being stupid. I am the butt end of this joke. For people to, like, it's fucking nuts that also we are insinuating that, like, using booty in this manner is absolutely...
Chat, don't acknowledge your cheers, Pepe Hands. Just wanted to say your work is appreciated. We all love you, brother. Do you think it's productive for people outside the U.S. to be engaged in U.S. politics and discourse?
I think so, yes. I think it's perfectly reasonable for people outside of the U.S. to be engaged in U.S. politics and discourse, because a lot of U.S. foreign policy directly impacts their lives. When I didn't live in America, I still was deeply engaged in American foreign policy and American politics in general, because I knew that the consequences of that would, I don't know, destabilize the Middle East, for example. And they're part of a minority where many of the pejorative terms revolve around booty. Of course, that isn't okay. I can't tell if you guys are actually being serious or not about this. Like, I legitimately cannot tell if like people are being serious, like they're actually offended by this, and think that this is like, this could be misconstrued as homophobic, so I should stop doing it, or like what? At least you admit you fucked up with the joke delivery. I mean, I'm not very funny. It was corny. But I'm certainly not going to back down, and I'm not going to apologize, especially because I don't consider people to be like...
I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
Yeah.
I'm not God.
I feel like a lot of people are just pushing the drama. I don't know. Now people are seriously running with it. SJW heel turn is appreciated, though. I guess. Can we at least agree not to use the term booty judge just to avoid these warnings raised? On the one hand, I understand why it's best not to use it, but on the other hand, if I say it, or if I say booty judge and like you guys think I'm saying booty judge, I'm not going to back down from it. Yeah.
Did you see my fan art?
Hasan, okay. Yeah. We'll look, yeah, here. There are right-wing trolls helping stir up this drama between you and everyone else. This is madness. I know, but I mean, it doesn't matter, dude. It's not right-wing trolls that fucking got Destiny to assume this position. It's not right-wing trolls that got Destiny to write all of these fucking things in DGG chat about how he was really frustrated with me for a year now, and that he was fucking using kitty gloves on me and whatnot, and that it finally like exploded when we had private conversations where he had absolutely every opportunity to tell me that he was upset at certain things. I like in the first explosive conversation where he looked through like all of these people that were saying anti-Destiny things in my subreddit and all, which he's a fucking moderator of to this day. Like still, he's a moderator of my subreddit. Okay, and also like my Twitch chat, right? I apologized, despite the fact that I have made insane amounts, like numerous attempts. Every single time I see it, I address it. I ban people. I block them. I still got additional mods to deal with it. I banned the word Destiny so that like we could deter additional people from making these sorts of statements. And if he still thinks that like I'm perpetuating that after that, or even in that conversation, if he like when we had a private one where he said, yeah, maybe I am being a little aggressive on your takes. Like I'll try to be a little bit more charitable. Like, or like let morally lucky and shit like memes like that run amok. Yeah, we could have continued to have this conversation, where he would explain to me all of these frustrations that he's felt. So, is political discussion about booties now? Yes. Can you move from this? It's kind of cringe. Destiny doesn't have any moderator permissions in your subreddit. They might have unmodded him after all this stuff happened, but no, he had. He was a moderator until like last night. Your subreddit is still shitting on him daily. What are you talking about? You're a fucking bad faith actor. I guess you weren't here. Is this the first opportunity, the first moment that you're being brought into this drama? Like you're finding out just now? I guess you weren't in Destiny subreddit for the past like 5 or 6 days, where people were calling me a moron, bad faith actor, saying that my entire career should be brought up to question, an idiot, morally lucky, Rem was right, all this other stuff, which Destiny is now run along with and continuously is perpetuated. It's really weird that you would consider that like the criticisms launched back in my subreddit, which Destiny was literally a fucking moderator of until last night, is anywhere near the same level. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. I should have not addressed. He claimed he doesn't ad hom you when you guys have conversations. This is factually incorrect. Claiming that I have privilege when I'm talking about, claiming that I'm a Bernie bro with privilege is absolutely an ad hominem attack. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he knows that, but whatever. Oh, he still is? He's still a moderator in my subreddit? Interesting. I guess some Destiny fans genuinely don't care about the truth or about factually correct information as much as they care. I don't know. Let's see. I'm just gonna fucking check myself really quickly, because literally the last time I looked at it, he was a moderator. Oh shit, he still is a moderator. That's crazy. That's so weird. That's so strange. I guess yet another drop in the bucket for a lot of fans of Destiny's. He said he apologized for the Bernie Bros thing because he didn't realize some of the misogyny associated with that. I don't care about the misogyny. I care about the I don't even know what mod permissions are, by the way. My other problem is, like, I legitimately don't know. And RTBA can attest to this. Like, I legitimately don't know how to do any of this shit. Like, I don't know how to fucking remove stuff. I guess you, like, click remove here. The only time I've been able to... You actually unmodding him for this? It means he can't do anything? Okay, I didn't know that. But I don't even fucking know how to, like, remove shit. I learned how to bold stuff yesterday on Reddit. Anyway, the Bernie Bro stuff, the LARPer stuff, the accelerationist stuff, these are all ad hominem attacks to disparage, or belittle my perspective without actually belittle my points without actually addressing them, or launching accusation off of them. I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently he was literally talking about the Mr. Reagan memes of the conspiracy theory that TYT is funded by Justice Democrats or something. I don't know exactly what his take was. I'd have to see it if someone clips it for me, but I would love to find out what he actually said. But where is this? Destiny's completely destroying Hassan. What is he doing? It's one thing to have some disagreements and wanting to separate yourself, but Destiny's going above and beyond to systematically destroy everything Hassan has said for the past few months, even going so far as to claim that the TYT conspiracy that right-wingers are using against him, bringing up every single issue, essentially just gossiping with Chad. Why is he going so far? If he actually did care about his friendship, he would have went this far. He wouldn't have went this far and would have done it in private. Really disappointed. Edit Destiny, I love you, but my heart's broken. Don't ban, please. Immediately, of course, there are justifications for this sort of behavior from his audience, which then will turn around and uncritically say stuff like, Hasan, I can't believe you're ad-homing Destiny, or Hasan, I can't believe you're destroying this relationship. It's kind of disgusting, or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know how, not to get all train wrecks here, but this kind of double standard is really aware. Why not respond to his reply on your post on our Destiny? Which post? Oh, we will reply to that. Hold on. We will talk about that. Weak text box, Just Democrats and American Progressive Political Action Committee. By the way, it's not, he was reading this. It's not a conspiracy theory or a secret. I don't know why, because you hurt him by shitting on what he does first. Listen, guys. Listen. So, first and foremost, we talked about the booty judge stuff. I think that's ridiculous. I also think that is legitimately Destiny behaving in bad faith and not openly stating that I'm being homophobic or whatever, but absolutely insinuating that. And if someone can claim that I have, I'm operating in bad faith because I mentioned Steve Mnuchin's donations to Kamala Harris's campaign, being that it's literally the only fucking Democrat at the time that Steve Mnuchin had given money to, including the Trump's donations to Kamala Harris that I added on to that. If he can insinuate that I'm saying that that's a quid pro quo, I think it's not that fucking far off for me to be like, yeah, he wanted to capitalize on this opportunity to just perpetuate this sort of meta, just put it out there, which immediately some people seized on in his fan base, but it's not necessarily something that a lot of people took seriously, and even his own community was like, you're being fucking ridiculous. So, whatever. I'm an avid DG user, but I definitely support you in this case. Jank's nephew's friend is being kind of crazy, and I hope everything is best for you, man. Much love. Steve Mnuchin. Oh, sorry, guys. I fucked up. I said his last name wrong, and it's actually fucked up because there are chin cells out there, and I said, And yet people are saying you ad hom, lol, fuck off.
As our fan base is hardcore intermingled, I noticed that Hasan is literally an ideologue.
I don't think Destiny understands what ideologue means. He's called me a partisan, which I don't think he understands what that means either, I guess. I think he's just trying to say he's biased, maybe. In which case, or he's trying to say that he's not objective, which I guess I don't know if I would take a problem with that, but I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I literally I talked to him about how I have my frustrations with socialism as an ideology. I am relatively anti-ideology. I do think that materialist analysis is pretty good, but I don't know.
That is the entirety of what he does. That he has a political ideology, and every single thing he sees will be crunched or smushed to fit into that kind of ideological basket.
There is no like rigorous thought process. There is no actual argumentation. There is no basically like.
I'm sorry, but again, a rigorous thought process is not debating the minutia of whether or not I was holding schools morally culpable in a conversation about Kamala Harris's association with the end result of undocumented children getting fucking yeeted out of this country. Okay? It doesn't matter how fucking smug Destiny is. It certainly doesn't matter how much he tries to portray himself as someone who is devoid of ideology, or that he is only trying to find justice, and I mean not just sorry, find the truth, arrive at the truth through conquest of debate. If Destiny genuinely wanted to figure out the truth, he would stop reading fucking Wikipedia articles, stop talking about how he needs things to be condensed into Twitter threads, and actually read some goddamn books, dude. Okay?
I'm not God.
Yeah, I'm the one who's actually attacking him now, by the way. Like, I know that this will get clipped out and people will say, Hasan, I cannot believe you're attacking him. I cannot believe it. After like the fucking 5 hour fuckfest Destiny had, parts of it I watched, parts of it I did not watch. But like after that fuckfest, people turning around and being like, this guy literally shit on your entire career. And says that you're and like has these insane conspiracy theories that aren't even fucking conspiracy theories. I guess he like thinks this is like an insane truth that he arrived on. Where the fuck was this? Hold on. Where he was like, this thing, dude. This like, it's kind of funny. Like if you ever see people viciously attacking candidates without substance and wonder what's going on, the easiest way to find out is usually just check the polls. Like this is a laughable take. This is the take of a 5-year-old, okay? This is the take of someone who does not understand how media works. This is the perspective of someone who, like, straight up has just, I guess, lived in a vacuum until fucking, 3 or 4 years ago, where he, like, started getting bombarded with information. It's insane. Like, of course I'm going to talk about candidates when they're rising in the fucking polls,
control.
dude.
I apologize for that.
Like, what a silly take this is. Like, thinking that, I mean, it was so bad that even his audience were like, dude, you're being a fucking clown ass. Even RTPA was like, Destiny, what are you doing? Like, why do you think that this is like some conspiracy? Like, and look, man, I'm a fucking hard-headed asshole too, okay? I'm a hard-headed asshole. I have a lot of pride. So I definitely understand where Destiny's coming from when he never, ever concedes on any points whatsoever, unless he like previously respects the person ahead of time. But like, come on, dude. He never, like, there are numerous different dumbass critiques that he has made. Like, there are numerous different critiques like this that Destiny makes that go just unnoticed or get memed out as though it's like not very serious. Anyway. He explained it in his stream and made it seem like he thought you waited until they posed the threat to Bernie to actually learn about these people. What's really silly about all of this is the fact that, like, if you watched my streams, you would know that I routinely talk about candidates. Not only when they become a threat, but I routinely talk about candidates. My Joe Biden piece was way before, like, the first debates. Like, I talk about candidates and I make videos on candidates when I can get to them. Do I take advantage of a situation where, like, Joe Biden is trending? Of course. I mean, whatever. It's just, God, it's such a...
I feel like this is like the Andy NGO situation. You're in the right for calling Destiny out, but it's gonna be bad optics for the next 2 days.
Yeah, it is gonna be bad optics. There's gonna be fucking mimetic warfare on behalf of, like, some of the most rabid trolls in Destiny's recent converts who have probably maintained some of that old stink of being in the alt-right because I am a member of the Young Turks, and they notoriously hate TYT. They're political animals that grew up on the internet, and that's their entire like political identity.
I'm not God.
Love you, man. I hope this works out for you.
I'm telling you, Destiny, again, Destiny, once again,
Excuse me.
has a lot of pride.
I'm sorry. I'm out of control.
And
I
so do
apologize
I.
for that.
He has no knowledge of the candidates prior a month ago. He tried to call you out for saying Pete was anti-policy. Oh my fucking God. Like, why does no one ever... This is what really frustrates me, okay?
God.
No one ever fucking critically calls out Destiny. And part of that is because I'm all over the fucking place, all right? And I don't watch enough of his streams, and I don't know what's going on. And he does... It's not like he makes, like... It's not like he makes fucking videos about his opinion on certain candidates or whatever. So I can't, like, look to something and make these, like, nonsense conspiracy theories. But, like, it is truly strange to me that no one is calling him out for, like, the Bernie bro Joe Biden shit, which 100% launched this, like, debacle to begin with, and it led to, like, us not having a friendship anymore. Because I do truly think that I have been played a fool, and I do truly think that like Destiny really behaved in a fucking shitty way, in a way that you wouldn't behave towards people that you consider your friends. I think him still calling me like his friend is just for him to turn around and be like, oh look, Hasan is the one who's cutting off these ties. It's speculation, sure. I know it's not 100% logically consistent or whatever the fuck some of you people want to hear from me, but I legitimately think that he only said that not because he still like cares for my feelings as friends would, but legitimately because he wanted to have a safety net that he could rely on to say, well, look, I still think Hasan is a great guy. I just mentioned it after I spent 5 fucking hours shitting on his entire career.
I'm not God.
I really appreciate
You said Pete was anti-policy because he didn't have a policy at the time, which is a shit reason. Pete not only didn't have policy at the time, well, which by the way I did include some of his good takes in there, but he literally said he doesn't want to be policy. He doesn't want to advocate for policy. He said he's anti-policy.
I apologize for that.
This is pathetic. If you like, it just further exposes that again, a lot of you guys do not want to leave the little Destiny bubble where like all of the information that you gather is just whatever Destiny says about certain things. There was a lot of people calling him out and he just brushed it up. I was in the stream, he was corrected and he said something like along the lines like, okay, probably. I think that me speculating on his intent with the Pete Buttigieg situation is reasonable.
I'm sorry.
I think
I'm out of
me
control.
saying
I
something
apologize
like,
for that.
"Oh yeah, he's just jealous that I'm a Chad and I get all the Stacys or whatever the fuck someone said in the chat," is completely baseless speculation. Okay, just so we understand, like there is a difference between good analysis and bad. What else? Whew. Crux of it is that he thinks you're an ideologue and your stances aren't grounded in anything. It's really weird, but I guess, yeah. I don't know how to say that I'm not an ideologue, so I guess I am an ideologue and morally lucky if that's what, like, if that's the clip that everyone in DG wants, like, go ahead, you have it. Is this the closet ending? Yeah.
Aren't you guys just colluding here to play up the drama and further fuse your fan bases? I mean, All of DGG is watching you right now, and everyone in both communities is only talking about this drama.
No.
Sounds like a good idea to keep flip-flopping on it.
No, I'm not utilizing this as an opportunity to like clout farm or get drama points. I am genuinely, no, I feel fooled. Like I feel like I feel like my opinion of Destiny was, my original assessment was incorrect. You can say that I'm wrong. You can say that like I'm being unfair.
Tried to warn you before about this. I still don't think you get how vast the difference is in how New Sanders politics really is in America. Liberals aren't your friends. This is how it is in all other countries. They side with the right against the left. You two just need to buck up and make amends. We all know, and you know too, that you guys genuinely like one another. Arguments get heated because you both love to argue, more than anything in the world. This can end in 10 minutes if you wanted to.
No, dude. Fuck no. I don't think you guys understand. Like, you can like someone and then still feel slighted by them, or like have a situation escalate to a point of no return. I think that the Buttigieg thing and the other videos that accompany that in that like 4 or 5 hour stream is enough for me to be like, I don't want to be this fucking, I don't think this person's my fucking friend at all. Especially when throughout this entire time, which I'm going to get to Destiny's like DGG logs or whatever, where he like explains his position of having like, he said my video research on candidates were all from Twitter threads. Like, I mean, it's literally him calling me out and saying that I don't actually do enough research or due diligence. And then he's baselessly speculating because he saw the Kamala Harris thing, where I personally said, this is a good Twitter thread that compiles a lot of the stuff that I've talked about already about Kamala Harris.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control.
And I also don't care. I also don't care if he cares about the situation. Just because he feels slighted, it doesn't mean that it's like a good opportunity for him to literally fucking like tell 5,000, 6,000 people that like I'm a bad faith actor. I should have never. I recommended him a Chapo Trap House, dude. Like, what a fucking. I defended him so much. Like I
He is not a leftist. He is not politically astute. He is smearing you because that's what he does. He's cynical and he can't help it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are also being like kind of childish to think that this is just like friendship or whatever when I don't know. I mean, it's not like your understanding of like what friendship is kind of weird, I guess.
I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for
like,
that.
That's not something that fucking friends do to one another at all. Can you admit the criticism in your video is accurate? I think this is the source of all this shit. I fucking 100% will not. We're going to get to that in a second. Just wait. You sound just like Bad Bunny right now? Okay. I guess I do. Fuck. Maybe it's not an accident that every single person that Destiny associates with over an extended period of time end up feeling alienated, except for the people that he keeps close that have a large enough platform that they will consistently offer like a steady stream of drama and also additional viewers. Maybe it's not an accident. Not saying that Bad Bunny was ever right in any of the arguments that she had. I thought that her showing in front of Rem was disastrous, but...
Can you go over the definition of ad hom versus personal attacks and ideologue for the chat, please? Everyone keeps misusing them and it's driving me insane.
Steven has been shitting on you since he came to LA. Your faithful followers have been trying to tell you for a while, but you wouldn't listen. He kept sticking up for him. He's been using you, I'm sorry to say. I don't think he was using me. I think look, like, homies don't twist shit to try to make you look like the bad guy. This is going down the Richard Lewis route. I don't know what that route is. Are you saying that for Destiny, or are you saying that for me? If you consider that, if you think that like I've changed my delivery on anything, or I've changed my opinion on anything to fit the needs of the chat or whatever, or to fit like a better audience, or to purposely like distance myself from another streamer who I was openly, I guess, or no, secretly agitated with bleeding our audiences, or our audiences intermingling.
Once leftists
Then yeah,
stop
no.
following him, leftists start leaving him for Hasan.
Dude, you're making this so much
Shout
worse by adding to the
Pikachu
drama.
face.
Why are you feeding into it? Just fuck it. Say he wants the viewers and shit, yet you continue to talk about him, which will give him more viewers. I don't care about giving him more viewers. I'm gonna fucking let my I'm gonna let my side be known in this. It's not. I don't think that's like a weird thing to do.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
You use Pete has no policy as the only reason he's anti-policy in your video. There is... Okay. Should we go
I'm
through,
not
like...
God.
Hi, Papa.
This
Hope
was the
today is
reason...
going a little better.
This
If
was the
not,
reason
I can
why...
call in the tanks. Say the word smile.
Thank you, Gwendolyn, for the sub. This was the reason why... Like, this is where I get... This is where I got my opinion from, I guess, or this is what the premise is here, and also not
Your
all of them are
campaign
going to have video
campaign
evidence.
website, it's got a lot about who you are, what you believe in. It doesn't have anything specific about policy, like nothing. There's no policy section on it. At what point do you need to start actually presenting specific policies in a whole policy platform?
Well, I think I've been pretty clear where I stand on the major issues. I think I led the field in opening up the debate about policy on structural reform for the Supreme Court, for example. I'd say I've been more specific than many.
You called him a bad faith actor first. What do you expect? Wait, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you guys live in an alternate reality? Destiny has been going off on me being a bad faith actor for quite some time now. If you genuinely think that like I was the one who first considered him a bad faith actor, then I don't even know what to say about this. How? Was that just a meme, Miss Catherine, or whatever the fuck? What? How? Gaslighting, you didn't say that. What? No, I mean, Miss Catherine is like a DGGer and also someone who's a sub of mine, so I'm taking their critique seriously. He called you a bad faith actor because of a clip of you saying debates are purely for entertainment. You can't use dirty tactics for right wingers and shouldn't on left wingers. In my opinion, fair to call you that. No offense. No, of course. I've never. I guess people didn't understand where I was coming from. This is not something that I've like changed my mind on at all. No, I
Destiny just takes himself too seriously and seems a bit on the spectrum when it comes to social interactions.
Anyway, let's get back to Pete Buttigieg saying,
in offering a pathway to get to a Medicare for all environment versus just saying we can make it happen. And there's a tool coming online shortly, if it's not there now, that will make it possible to just enter a keyword and see, visualize, pull all the video on what I've said about that particular issue. We'll continue to roll out specific policy proposals too, but I also think it's important that we not.
Where was it? It was a GQ interview or something, I think. I don't know I don't remember what I used as evidence for that one, or like I don't know where I read it first, but I don't think it was this one where he does say that he doesn't have policy, but like policy's coming. But he seemed like he made his mind out about you after the Fuentes stuff. Maybe. Like the Biden stuff. the Kamala Harris stuff and then the Pete Buttigieg stuff is all him saying I'm a bad faith actor and I'm an ideologue and I'm only operating from a point where like what do you call it? Like I'm only operating from a point of like spreading my like ideology when I don't even have a discernible ideology that you can like point at. He doesn't have to say you're a bad faith actor. What are these people? Like, what are these are these people insane? Like, is this not the same audience that's like, this is a dog whistle, this is a insinuation? Like, people who, like, he doesn't have to actually fucking say, I think Hasan's a bad faith actor, which he literally has. I think in this one, where he says, like, he's an ideologue. I'm one of the many people who left Destiny's community since the spoiler arc. He kept doubling down and abusing his own community by telling leftists to leave DGG and go to Hasan, culminating in the contrarian, pedantic takes in Kamala, sending moms to jail takes. And now he turns around and says he hates that we leaked to your community. Excuse me. He thinks you're being unfair to everyone, not Bernie. Okay. Yeah. He thinks I'm operating in bad faith. What more do you want him to say? What more do you want him to say for you to be like, okay, I guess Destiny is saying that Hasan is operating in bad faith. He's a bad faith actor. Like, it's really fucking dumb. Oh, here. I love that Destiny, like, said Hasan's criticism of Pete Buttigieg is that he has no policies. And then, like he said in the video you just showed, here it is. Yeah, hold on. You know what? I'll just fucking go to my Google Drive real quick and find the fucking script. Whoa, what the fuck? Uh-oh. What is going on? Okay.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
He used anti-policy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Oh, here is the Vice interview that I used and also put in the fucking, in the sources in that video.
Did you want anything?
Oh. Like, maybe I should have, like, maybe you guys should write my videos for me. I mean, there's 5,000 people in here, and obviously everyone knows better than me about how to make these, like, political videos, I guess, despite the fact that they also believe that, like, I'm a political operative secretly working for the Justice Democrats and whatnot, but, hold on. Where is this? Okay. 0424.
Grill you on policy positions. I listened to you talk today.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you definitely speak very progressively, but you don't have like a lot of super specific policy ideas.
Yeah. Part of where the left and the center left have gone wrong is we've been so policy led that we haven't been as philosophical. We like to think of ourselves as the intellectual ones, but the truth is the right has done a better job in my lifetime of connecting up its philosophy and its values to its politics. Right now, I think...
Hey, all of you suck my cock, okay? Whoever was like, hey, where do you get the fact that he's he's an ideas guy. He's an ideas guy. Idiots. Fucking idiots. And also, by the way, just for the record, again, instead of use this as a teachable moment, use this as an opportunity to be like, hey, as a matter of fact, maybe I should reconsider my perspective, or maybe I should reconsider everything that fucking Destiny says instead of just gargling it down my fucking throat and then throwing it back up without question. And the reason why Pete Buttigieg did not want to talk about policy, the reason why he said he doesn't want to talk about policy is because, and this is my speculation, you're looking bad in this situation right now? How the fuck? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. He didn't say that he's like literally anti-policy, I guess. He said, he said, part of where the left and center left have gone wrong is that we've been so policy-led that we haven't been as philosophical. We like to think of ourselves as the intellectual ones, but the truth is that the right has done a better job in my lifetime, of connecting up to its philosophy and its values into its politics. Right now, I think we need to articulate the values, lay out our philosophical commitments, and then develop policies off of that. And I'm working very hard not to put the cart before the horse. I guess that is technically the REM take, so it's fine. Which, by the way, my criticism of Elizabeth Warren is that she is too wonky. So obviously, there is a balance to it, okay? My speculation on Pete is that he needs to portray himself, and this is, again, guys, this is speculation, okay? This is like, hey, this is when Destiny says, I feel like, and you guys just immediately assume that it's like factually correct. But my speculation is, and at that time, and it's like coming to fruition now, my speculation was that Pete Buttigieg personally does not want to talk about policy because he understands that he can just get away with vague generalizations about philosophy because he wants to maintain the status quo. He wants to continue to legitimize the institutions that continue with our established neoliberal order. That's precisely why he entertained going to like the centrist dinners where they discussed shitting on Bernie Sanders or the like anyone but Bernie approach. That's precisely why he wants to portray himself as the young guy, the young face of the Democratic Party, but he has a lot of old ideas. His ideas are, I mean, some of them are progressive, I'll admit, the ones that he has actually talked about. Like, I think court packing is pretty decent, but I like Supreme Court term limits a little bit better than court packing. But why is wonky bad? Wonky can be uncharismatic. And again, maybe I'm wrong. I could totally be fucking wrong.
Get on your knees and start respecting Mask Off Kababi.
What? When asked why he isn't talking about policy, he says he doesn't want to talk about policy, but philosophy seems pretty anti-policy to me, but okay. Yeah. But he has policy stuff on his website, though. At the time when I wrote the video, he was anti-policy. Why are people trying to fucking own me by saying, like, he has policies now? At the time when I wrote the video, he was anti-policy. I used his actual quotes. Did he ad hom you before you said he was biased during his domestic violence experience when debating Deadmoth? How about when you said he was defending Emiya because he was in Questiny mode? That wasn't even like in the fucking debate. I said that after and I apologize for it. Shut the fuck up. Did you see Rem's cringe ass tweet? Okay, bro. Yeah, as if I give a fuck about Rem's cringe ass tweet. Look, legitimizing the perspective of Destiny is one thing, but his like his loyal henchman in that circumstance is not something I'm going to pay any attention to or any consideration. I'm not going to give any more consideration to it than it has already been given. I again, fuck man, I love when people are like, oh well, he has policies now. Okay, I guess that invalidates everything. I love you, but you're being very ultimatumish. This is so whatever. Yeah, sure. I'm being ultimatumish. Do you think parents have any responsibility in ensuring their kids go to school? Okay, let me tell you guys something, okay? There are, of course, circumstances in which calling the police is the only thing you should do, okay? Like, it's insane that people think that I am like anti-calling the police across the board. Never, ever, ever. Let me just point that out. There could be a hypothetical scenario in which engaging the police force, where the cops will separate the children from their parents, truancy is not one of them. I would want a DA to stay out of truancy and dealing with truancy. Okay? I'm anti-police, but a few months ago I had to call them because I witnessed a woman being stabbed on the street. No joke. Yeah. The issue here is not that. The issue here is not like whether I think that I'm like a cab or whether I think that like you should never call cops or whatever. The issue here is the faulty hypotheticals that Destiny launched as he tested my like moral system or whatever in an effort to again belittle my position.
You're sucking this hard. He never said ideologue instead of policy. He said ideology before policy. And in that interview implied policy was indeed coming. Anti-policy is an actual legit position. Can you honestly not understand how wrong your accusation is?
Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking literally die. These are the most cancerous donations I've ever. Holy shit! Thank you for the donation. By the way, Berta 2. He said he doesn't want it. He said he doesn't. He said the policies are coming months later. Okay, that's why I said that wasn't the video that I used, or that wasn't the quote that I used to be like, okay, well, Pete seems anti-policy. Like, there were months and months of him refusing to talk about his policies. Why are you guys disagreeing with me on this when you have not done the research? This is my issue. Like, I showed you a video where he says, I don't care about policy. I want to lay the philosophical foundations. It's like a dismissive tone. I mean, it's dismissive of policy in general. Anyway, he said ideology before policy, whatever. Hold on. What was I going to say? Hold on. Anti-policy is an actual legit position. Oh, yeah. Anti-policy is an actual legit position. Kind of like Bernie or bust is an actual legit position, right? But when Destiny says I'm fucking Bernie or bust, despite the fact that I openly admit that I would vote for Warren happily, and I would even vote for Kamala Harris, and the only reason why I say I don't want to vote, or I would have a really hard time not abstaining if Joe Biden was the candidate, is because we're in the fucking primaries. But no, that means Bernie or bust, right? Like, why do you guys change semantics so easily while also having and engaging in the most pedantic fucking arguments? Okay. No, I'm not. We're not going over like, if you're going to spend a significant amount of time on like how I looked and it wasn't a good look, sweetie, when I couldn't engage with his hypotheticals, instead of being like, hey, like, why are these hypotheticals being brought up to begin with when the school's position is like, when the school is drastically different and has a drastically different level of caretaking for every single student that like exists under its fucking roof than a random person getting raped. Like, that is the definition of a fucking faulty analogy. I don't care how much Destiny tries to claim that he's just like testing out my moral systems or whatever. If he genuinely wanted to test out my moral system, he wouldn't use the rape thing. He would have tried to use like your child or something. Like someone that has some sort of like de facto parental, like functional de facto parental supervision and boundary over the children that we're referencing here. These people are his fans. They are here purely to defend him and his ideologues, if you will. It seems like this becomes a treadmill after a while. Isn't that okay if he has policies now and we've just done the first Democratic debates? We would have to look through each individual policy that he has now that he has some policies. Dan has been sending them from your Discord over here. Ugh, come on, Dan. Don't be a fucking dick, dude. Like, I like you more than Destiny now. Just don't be a fucking asshole, okay? Seriously. Why are you lying? I wasn't anti-policy. I was anti-turning off donors. Exactly. People like Pete Buttigieg, people like Pete Buttigieg have this weird dichotomy where they need to exist in. On the one hand, tell the donor class that, hey, everything is going to be fine. We're not going to fucking steal your money or whatever. We're not going to vilify you. I'm not a socialist. But on the other hand, he needs to make himself seem like he's a progressive person. Okay? So that's the issue. Okay? That's the two different powers that he needs to appeal to. And that is at the heart of this problem, and that is my speculation on, which I think I'm allowed to have, right? I'm like allowed to speculate. But yeah, that's my speculation on why Pete was so like why he was deflecting on that question with oh, the policies will come later. Let's talk about our philosophy first. Why didn't Density answer JLP's questions? Oh, wait, because he considered the questions as loaded, just like he threw loaded questions at you yesterday. No attacks on speculation yet. Have at it. His hypotheticals were made on the basis that you shouldn't call the cops for anything. He wasn't comparing schools to rape. His original hypothetical on like calling the cops was already bad. I'm in my house and loitering. That's what I said. That was what I was answering. God, okay, we'll do this again. Hold on. We're going to look through it. Just please stop. The way you speculate is why you're an ideologue. Okay, I'm a fucking ideologue then, dude. All right, never mind.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
Thanks for responding so far. Keep streaming and try not to talk so much about the situation if it's working you up. It's working me up a little bit. I was definitely in a better mood. Why do you say you aren't a socialist? Because every policy you advocate for aligns with socialism? I don't know. Hasanabi is a Russian troll? Is this a fucking meme? Oh, this is a meme. Okay. Who made this
These
paste
years
bin?
literally told me that rejecting Kamala is sending moms to jail policy and Nirvana fallacy. How? Like how? DG gears now think that anything short of sending moms to jail was a nirvana fallacy. They are stupid pseudo-intellectual destiny parrots. Yikes.
Excuse
This
me.
is funny as
I'm
fuck.
sorry.
Is this
I'm
real?
out of control. I apologize for that.
Hasan is a Russian troll. Hasan continuously attacks the electoral process in the United States and posts derogatory information about a number of candidates. Hasan is a foreign actor who pushes politicized content and videos and mobilizes real Americans to sign online petitions and join rallies and protests. The express purpose of his channel, by his own admission, is to reach significant numbers of Americans for purposes of influencing the U.S. political system. Russia's goals were to undermine public faith in the U.S. democratic process. The intent of the Russian troll farms is to create an atmosphere of division and anger online. The foreign desk was more sophisticated, with trolls requiring to learn the nuances of American politics to best rock the boat on divisive issues. Hasanabi continuously attacks American institutions such as the police with rhetoric such as ACAP. I would highly recommend against calling the police ever at any time. His videos and streams focus on the most extreme events of the time and push an extremist ideological agenda with rhetoric which pits Americans against each other. Russian trolls post derogatory information about a number of candidates in the 2016 presidential election. By early to mid 2016, Russian troll operations included supporting the Trump campaign and disparaging the candidate Hillary Clinton. Hasanabi has posted a number of videos disparaging a number of Democratic candidates and non-Sanders candidates. His opinions are extremely partisan in nature, and in some cases are not always factual or accurate reflections of the candidates he covers.
Excuse me.
Russian trolls also
I'm sorry.
acknowledge that their
I'm
work
out of
focused on
control. I
influencing the
apologize
U.S.
for that.
presidential election. Hasanabi continuously mentions that he wants to affect political process and opinions of U.S. citizens, regardless of whether or not Hasanabi is directly paid by the Kremlin or indirect foreign actors. Hasanabi's online presence aligns with Russian goals and acts in a manner consistent with orchestrated attacks on the American political system, as exposed through the Mueller report. This is like peak liberalism, by the way, just for the record. I love this. I don't know who did this, but it's very good. Not enough ad homs to be one of mine. Yeah, this is like a race. It's not a race your thoughts special, but can you explain your take about DAs? Like, besides inaction, what policy could they do? Just wondering what DA's powers are. Okay, let's talk about Larry Krasner. Okay, so Larry Krasner is, and it's a good opportunity to boost some Ryan Grimm coverage as well. Another bad faith actor, of course, for numerous different reasons. Everyone is a bad faith actor except for Politico, whatever whatever lines I read that correspond to my already pre-made assumptions about how Hasan's a Bernie bro that will help me win the argument. Then that institution is good for the time being, whereas The Intercept is bad. Okay. Which was literally another point of contention in our debate, which I will get to again, I promise. You mentioned prosecutorial discretion, but you never mentioned the cops have discretion too. Of course, cops have discretion. Like, what do you mean? What? The schools have discretion in that under the circumstances as well. That's why I said, like, you could make the argument that schools are functionally still responsible.
God. The fact that you constantly platform liberals like Destiny instead of actual communists is what the tankies have been complaining about. You'd rather make fun of them and marginalize them than have any kind of constructive dialogue.
Yeah, I think Destiny's next step might be like Armenian genocide memes. I now that he did the Justice Democrat stuff, and the speculation that I'm like a bad faith political ideologue, just operating as a Bernie bro, and that I'm not going to vote for anyone else, and I don't want anyone else to vote for anyone else. But I'm assuming like the next step is going to be like. Hasan is an Armenian genocide denier, or maybe like, I don't know. I mean, by the way, okay, hold on. Let me just pause here for a second. I was going to make a point about the Buttigieg thing. Like his insinuation that I was engaging in or participating in homophobia, right? Participating in homophobia with the Pete Buttigieg thing was like totally fucking just awful, just an awful take or whatever. But it is ironically indifferent than the new right-wing meta, the alt-right meta now, which is that I'm a woman hater because of that fucking outburst I had about Amy Klobuchar. So, Destiny, I know you like to compare Chapo cells, which is now parroted by your laughable sycophants. to the alt-right so frequently, or Kiwi Farms
Destiny
or whatever.
got honed in this
But
debate. Also,
you know,
I prefer
you're
Pete that
you're
shut
kind
to
of
Pete
engaging in a
Buttigieg
similar
because I
narrative
don't
now,
want to disrespect our
as
judicial
a lot of people in your audience are also going to a lot of people in your audience are also going to now meme out that I am you know, engaging in homophobia or whatever. Okay. Lawmakers in Pennsylvania have quietly muscled power away from reformist District Attorney Larry Krasner, passing new legislation giving authority to the state's Attorney General to prosecute certain firearms violations in Philadelphia and nowhere else in the state. The provision will expire in 2 years or just after Krasner's first term ends. Krasner, one of the most progressive prosecutors currently in elected office, is the only district attorney in the state whose office will be impacted by the change. The bill was passed by the Republican legislature and signed by Democratic governor before the end of the legislative session late last month with no public awareness. Even some of the lawmakers who voted for it said they didn't know what was happening. I think the vast majority of my colleagues had no idea that this was included. One state House Democratic lawmaker who voted in favor told The Intercept, acknowledging that he too didn't realize the provision had been added. The maneuver by Pennsylvania lawmakers is the most significant legislative pushback to date against the new movement by criminal justice reformers to focus on seizing the power of the prosecutor rather than hunkering down as public defenders or lawmakers. One of the key powers of a prosecutor is to decide when to bring charges and, critically, when not to. The new law means that even if Krasner decides to exercise the latter power and not bring charges, the police could go directly to the Attorney General to pursue the case regardless. Okay? That's what I mean when I say exercising discretion. Like the utilization of the entirety of the police force is, I mean, not the entirety, but like you could literally command and get people to focus on certain things like truancy rather than Destiny got owned in this debate. Also, I prefer Pete Buttigieg to Pete Buttigieg because I don't want to disrespect our judicial institutions. Thanks, Mayor Pete. Thank you for the $5 donut, Mayor Pete. Please stop with this. Please stop with this disgusting homophobia. Okay. In a statement, Krasner's office said the move is an attempt by the legislature to undermine the will of voters who turned out in record numbers to elect him. District Attorney Larry Krasner was elected by an overwhelming margin to push for badly needed criminal justice reforms in one of the most highly incarcerated big cities in the country, and he has serious concerns about what Act 58 does, the potential precedent it sets, and what it signifies for the justice movement at large. HB 1614 gives Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro what's known as concurrent jurisdiction over certain offenses involving firearms, meaning that Krasner and his team no longer have sole discretion over how to handle those prosecutions.
I hope you two can find a way through this. It's not our place as the audience to try and force things, but I hope good things for both of you. I am not super familiar with what's happening, but you deserve better than this.
Excuse me.
Can I just ask something to you
I'm
guys?
out of control. I
a lot of
apologize for
donos and a lot of people in the chat have told me like, oh, you know, you really need to make up with Destiny. You really need to make up with Destiny. When I was watching Destiny stream, none of the audience's donos or none of the chat that I saw for the most part was in favor of Destiny and I, you know, getting together. I mean, sure, there were still certainly a lot of crossover fans who were probably upset about the situation, but I only heard stuff that was making fun of me, or the morally lucky memes, or people urging Destiny to like part ways. So why is my audience now all of a sudden so charitable to Destiny and absolutely is defending him, whereas like I didn't see that same kind of consideration from his audience at all? I don't know. Especially when I feel like I am the party that was offended. Like, because they heard you talk. Of course not. Like you said, they're all just sycophants who just parrot what he says. There were people in the chat saying y'all should stop fighting. I was afraid he'd just ban me outright for it. I just stayed quiet. Lots of people in the chat were saying for him to make up with you. Well, he was the one who decided to do a long and comprehensive analysis of how much of a fucking corrupt, disingenuous, bad faith actor I am. Maybe instead of saying, hey, you guys should make up, they should have said, hey, Destiny, shut the fuck up. What are you doing? What the
I'm
fuck
not
are you doing
God.
right now? You're literally blowing this out of proportion and being like an absolute psycho because you have a fragile ego and you just have to be a contrarian person every single time someone engages you and you feel slighted by them. Maybe that's what they should have said instead. Well, I'm sure someone said it and they probably got banned for
like
it.
density
But
instead of actual communists is what the tankies have been complaining about. You'd rather make fun of them and marginalize them than have any kind of constructive dialogue.
Hasan, can you react to his video just so people who haven't seen it? We'll see. I don't know if I want to react to his video. Because Steve would listen. Okay, why am I supposed to be the bigger person here? Like, no. He expressed that he saw this coming a month ago. I tried asking why he didn't speak on this to you a month ago then. Yeah, why? Why? Why didn't he talk to me about this?
I'm fine. Will is already mom now anyway. But I'll tier 1 for you so he can have my Twitch Prime on Friday.
Anyway, okay. I'm trying to say you deserve better, and I've said this on his chat too. I'm on your side. I just know how to go get through this. I'm really glad you're getting all this out. Steven seems really unhealthy for you. I don't care about the drama. Please show us the bill of the article you're reading and read it for the chat. There's the law. Why is there no objectivity when it comes to the law? Reading an article saying that the law is not acceptable, etc., is not research. You're just reading someone else's opinion and stated as truth. Oh my God, dude. Dude, go back. Go to Destiny's, dude. Go to Destiny's. He does the due diligence, okay? Holy shit. I should have more socialists on, and I will. I was the top donor in that chat. I think us liberals are getting sick and tired of this goody two-shoes I'm better than you attitude coming from you, Bernie bros, and it really doesn't matter because Bernie's not going to win anyway.
I'm out of control.
Nice,
I apologize for that.
So it took me forever to see where it came from when you say you like to, when he uses tricks to be for the right but not for the left. You're saying none of his debates are ever won on the arguments. He's just a bad faith actor winning through trickery. Oh, hold on. Let me clarify another position. Fuck. I should have fucking said this in the beginning. God damn it. Okay. No, not always. Of course, there are some people who are so fucking, like, who are so easy to annihilate that you don't even need to use any sort of logical fallacies. In most instances, I think you guys consider this like giving them enough rope to hang themselves, right? And of course, I'm not saying that like Destiny does this in every fucking debate, but there are certainly instances where he does do that, and I don't have a problem with that.
Videos on candidates to get all points of view. Mayor Pete.
Steve streamed and shit on you after all that fucking Reddit post, and your stream the night before, by the way, but you're the victim. Steve streamed and shit on you after all that fucking Reddit post, and your stream the night before, but you're the victim?
But I want to hear what Buttigieg plans on doing with the Elon Discord.
I can't tell if you're saying I'm...
When is the debate part 2? I need to take some notes and gather some tips.
Joe Biden. Okay. Senpai doesn't have enough right-leaning people to dunk on, so he takes it out on you, Hasan. Saying you think he does it at all is calling him a bad faith actor, though. No, I think that's what you're supposed to do at a debate. Like, what purpose does rhetoric serve? Like, if you guys genuinely don't think that, like, Destiny overwhelms their opponent, like, in a very effective fashion, I don't know what to tell you.
Excuse me. I'm
sometimes
sorry.
he doesn't do
I'm
that.
out of control. I apologize for that.
But he is very good at that. Stop dealing with people who consistently flip-flop and stop listening to people who tell you to make up. Yeah. The biggest thing that tipped me off that Destiny was using bad faith is him trying to frame the argument with lazy parents. He would never let an alt-righter frame it that way for poor communities by calling them lazy. It's literally the same logic as being in tough on crime and using thugs. I put that out there. Like, I did put that out there. I said that during the debate. Overwhelmed when they have to examine their own positions. Okay. When someone is, there's a difference between having a conversation with someone where you ask them what their opinion is or like what they would do in a certain situation, and saying like, oh, you think the school has some culpability in a child that is supposed to be tasked with their care getting deported without due process because of a regulation change? Well, then what about the person? What about if I called the cops on a person loitering outside of my house looking suspicious on the street? Then do I have any culpability there? That is disingenuous framing. That is a hypothetical that is not testing anything.
Hate to see dads fight like this.
Your response is just, you're supposed to debate in bad faith. That's what debates are about. Yeah, debates are not about fucking, like, what kind of truth have people actually arrived at? The only truth that you arrive at a debate is probably that, like, the other dude is fucking completely oblivious and doesn't know what they're saying. And by the way, I've admitted like that Destiny does overwhelm me, and he is very good at doing what he does. And oh, by the way, I did fucking interrupt him a bunch. I did interrupt him a lot. If you've seen more than a couple Destiny debates and you see the quality he holds himself to, then what happened last night is just such a disingenuous shitstorm. What do you mean by that? Planoptic. Like, he says he uses kitty gloves with me, but the reason why I said he's being like centrist Andy in these under this circumstance is like, it's like it's the same shit that like Tim Pool pulls, right? And I still genuinely believe that like Destiny certainly has a similar opinion to me in regards to like who he thinks are the best candidates. Maybe that'll change too after a while, but what is this?
Debates are not about facts, okay? These are persuasive speeches where your goal is to get as many people onto your side as possible. The facts do not fucking matter in this debate. I don't give a fuck if Biden, who's fucking blowing this guy on a daily basis, you don't get up here and say that you supported him, okay? I'm telling you what you have to do to win the debate, okay? Because this is a win or lose debate, and it's not won or lost on facts, it's won or lost on the public perception of you. Your goal is to mold positive perception, not adhere to some factual reality or talk about what actually happened in the past. Your goal is to make as many people like you as possible. Who the fuck cares if he was in love with this guy and married him in the past? That's not the purpose of this debate. So I don't give a fuck what his relationship was in the past. No.
He's literally talking about the presidential debate. Don't take the bait. Oh, dude, come on. Like, I know, but he understands that. Him and I have had this conversation the first time we ever met. Like, why are you guys... Why? Oh, God.
I'm not
like, our entire first fucking convo was about me versus Charlie, where he told me the importance of rhetoric. He's talking about political debates out of context. Oh, Jesus, fuck, dude. Like, he's right. That's how all debates are. I think he's being exclusive to the Democratic debates. Okay. Oh no, Digibro all over again. Okay. You actually think presidential debates are the same as online debates? If you guys can find a point that Destiny has conceded on, because when he was like faced with factual evidence with someone who he was not being charitable to, like the conversation between me and him, the last one, because there are certain instances where like he's being overzealous and like super contentious on purpose, right? If he has like arrived at a truth that his interlocutor delivered, then I'm willing to change my mind on some of the debates that Destiny has. I did debate for years. What people do not understand is that it's not based on fact, but based entirely on passion and the ability to not be fazed by attacks of your point of view. It is stupid, and fact should be important, but the human brain works more with logic. Like, listen, the reason why... don't fucking show me this Still Friends clip, dude. Come on, Sean Lee. Get the fuck out of here. I already went through that. Like, that's not what someone... That's not what Destiny did is not something that friends do to one another, okay? Ryan Dawson, he conceded? Okay. And he still maintains the same positions now? He admitted to losing to Ryan Dawson? Wait, did he still maintains the same position? Like that he conceded on with Ryan Dawson? Not just like admitting that he was defeated or whatever, because I don't know. You basically have to pay Steven to interact with him unless you have cloud. He's surrounded by sycophants or whatever. I don't know. What about when he talked to the gun scholar? Did you respond to this yet? No, I didn't fucking respond to the melon, dude. No, this is so dumb. Like, these are people who have no idea what's fucking going on, and they just like, they think that this is like totally, I don't know. They think this is just like totally childish squabbles or whatever. When this is like, I don't think what Destiny realizes that he's doing, I guess, is that in an effort to win an argument, like, from my perspective, here's what I think, okay? Here's what I think happened. And this is all speculative, and you guys can tell me I'm totally fucking wrong. I feel like Destiny was very upset at people telling him that he should not just devalue my opinion on a Bernie Bro meme, okay? On a fucking Bernie Bro meme, after he said, like, oh, the Joe Biden stuff. The Joe Biden stuff, like, he said something along the lines of, like, wait, hold on, fuck. Why not watch the VOD where he thinks about things in detail? Hold on. Where is that? It's in my subreddit, too. Can't tell if Destiny's being...
W's, which is, also in his I Want to Be President book.
Shortest way home. How are you going to criticize somebody for writing a book when the majority of Bernie's money has been made by a book that he wrote running for president? Now, I guess...
What? What? You oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry, guys. No, that's actually, that's a genuine criticism, guys. Sorry. That's a genuine criticism. That's not a reach. It doesn't show once again that like Destiny is just out for fucking blood. You're right.
Nate, that seems like a pretty bad hill to stand on. Like Bernie's taxes are public. Bernie has made most of his money by writing a book about his running for president. I don't know. I don't. The idea of criticizing somebody for he's just mocking the book meme. He didn't criticize him for writing a book. Well, that's what it sounds like he's saying. I'm sorry. Hold on. Apparently, he wrote a book called The Shortest Way Home. Also, in his
every presidential candidate writes a "I want to be president" book. Like that's the whole point. That's the joke. And if Destiny knew a little bit more about how politics works, right? Instead of fucking, farming his troll farm to give him all of his ideas that he can just like, or a couple fucking Google Scholar things that they found, like the first fucking Google Scholar that he browses through, he would know that every presidential, like most presidential candidates will write a fucking book in which they literally put all of the Oppo research ahead of time in those books. Obama did this with the Chum Gang or whatever the fuck, like with the marijuana shit. Like they do that. They do that on purpose so that they can get ahead of the misinformation. I mean, they can get ahead of the Oppo research. They literally did this. Elizabeth Warren did a very good job with this. Elizabeth Warren did a very good job with this when she fucking just went, fuck it, mask off. Here is the Pocahontas meme. Go wild immediately after launching her candidacy, and now it's old news. So that's like that's what the meme is. That's where the fucking meta is based off of. But I don't know. I guess people in his chat didn't know that either.
book, I Want to Be President. I don't know. It seems like a really cheap.
Has called elitist. Oh, also in his I Want to Be President book.
I don't know. That sounds pretty cheap to me.
That's so god damn it, dude. I mean, these are like really dumb memes and whatever. Who cares? It's like, yeah, it just goes back to the same thing. Like it goes back to the same fucking point I've made a million times over, which is that like he's just on he's like a bloodhound. Like he's just interested in like hitting wherever he can. Again, not a very friendly thing to do, but whatever. It's like me when I look at like a right winger, and I am biased. When I look at like a right winger's video, like I'm ready to fucking go off. Sorry, can you explain why candidates writes books beforehand to get past mistakes the candidate has made, airing out dirty laundry? There's two reasons. One, airing out the dirty laundry so they can be like, well, we revealed this information already. And two, he just thinks you're treating Pete and Kamala uncharitably. Oh, God. I don't like them. But it's not that I don't like Pete Buttigieg because I just didn't like Pete Buttigieg because he's not Bernie, and I'm just making up facts. I don't like Pete Buttigieg because of the facts. Jesus Christ. Also, please stop with this fucking...
Please stream for another 4 hours talking about
you got it,
this
Wanker,
high school
thanks.
nonsense.
Please stop with this fucking... He's just making your argument stronger stuff, okay? Like, please, you're only fooling yourselves, dude. Come on. Because you're not reaching at all, Hasan. I don't care, dude. Okay, yeah, I'm the one who's reaching. This is the cycle. Bruised ego, can't admit fault, lashes out. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the ride. Oh, it's fucking great. When his chat was shutting him down over his shit takes from your video is when he leached on hard to that Buttigieg take. Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Pre-recorded and pre-scripted drama, shaking my head. Like, I'm sorry, but if you think that Destiny is not going scorched earth on my reputation, you have to be a child,
I know
right?
it wasn't available then, but it is now. You never opened Pete's policy page.
What facts? I know it wasn't available then, but it is now. You never opened Pete's policy page? What? Are you guys still talking about a video I made months ago?
I'm out of control. I apologize
where
for
he
that.
like openly admitted to not having policies? Like, but like he has policies now, so that invalidates the video entirely? Like what? Okay. We remember you saying, we remember you saying he had it and not finding the clip. What did you guys fucking get out of the, did you literally leave the chat when I showed the clip where he said it? Pete's policy website, it's garbage. Pete's policies, freedom, security issues. I mean, I don't want to look at this right now. It's so fucking boring. I want to like finish the all the drama shit, and then after I'm done with the drama shit, I'm gonna go through.
Don't worry about the still friends. Anyone who's had real relationships would know better. Destiny being something I would call a rhetoric king like Shapiro and especially a liberal, this would inevitably happen. Destiny is uncharitable for a reason.
Get to the DGG logs. Okay, yeah, let's do that. The real reason why Melon attempting to face the breakup. Destiny's completely destroying Hasan. Holy shit, talk to each other. Destiny's trying to cancel Hasan over the booty judge thing is stupid and fucking desperate. The tweet that divided the left. This is what happens to a sub when you don't let train right happen. Destiny logs for further context on stuff. Okay, here. Where is it? Okay, I'm gonna go through this really quickly. All right, Destiny. Okay, rant memes. Okay, I've had to deal with a lot of really annoying optics-related shit recently on Twitch. I've operated on my own in this political space for years. How long? I got shit from so many people when I would talk politics on Twitch. Every large streamer's chat fucking hated when I talk politics, which they still do. I totally understand and respect him for doing all that. This happened in Asmongold's chat. It happened in LSF. It happens in Greek's chat. It happened in every single large show that I was on. I had zero help or zero support aside from some in my community for any of this. I know. Again, totally respect him for all of this and acknowledge it and have talked about it numerous times. And even when I decided to start going on to these big podcasts and be progressive voice, even my own community was divided on this. Don't platform these people. Don't argue with them. Don't give them a voice. Destiny and I have the same perspective on this as well. We have the same opinion on this. And I did that for years without any help or assistance. For someone to come onto Twitch, write all of my contacts to get onto shows, podcasts, and then take advantage of the much better space that I've been cultivating almost on my own, and then say, oh, you just got into politics the past few years, lol. That's pretty fucking irritating to hear. Yeah, that was the purpose. I said that because I wanted to fucking piss him off with an ad hom of my own. I mean, this is like, it doesn't feel good, does it? It fucking literally doesn't. That's the whole point. It doesn't feel good when you belittle me and say that I'm a fucking Bernie bro, Bernie or bust, when if you asked me, like, when you fucking asked me, I would tell you that I'm not. Anyway, I did say that. I did. Like when all these articles are just getting written, people like Hasan are creating a safer space on Twitch. Lol, I've done this for the past 3-4 years on my own. I don't get a salary. Okay, before we get back to the Jank Nephew memes that are coming up right the fuck now, people like Hasan are creating a safer space on Twitch. One, this seems incredibly envious, and that's fine. What Steve doesn't understand about this is, one, I've literally credited him for all of the things that he's fucking complaining about so many fucking times, to both privately to my friends who are also journalists, to publicly defending him on numerous instances, to like literally promoting him in the Chapo podcast, which is ironically what the Kotaku article ripped apart from. Okay? I didn't go to Kotaku and say, hey, why don't you write an article about how I'm fucking making Twitch so awesome in a safe space? Like, I literally refuse to talk to Kotaku because I'm worried that people are going to see that, okay? They're going to see like the Kotaku articles and then come and brigade me and try to fuck me over. And I've never talked to them, and I still won't talk to them. They looked at the Chapo Trap House podcast and they wrote an article over it, about it. In that Chapo Trap House podcast, I talked about how fucking awesome Destiny is and how awesome Destiny is and how he's actually a good guy and how he has been doing a really good job destroying right-wingers on Twitch in the marketplace of ideas and using like the same logic bro style that these people respond to. Okay? So it's additionally fucking weird that I shouted out Jim Sterling too, yeah. So it's kind of weird that he, like, instead of looking at all of this critically, again, he's just in his fucking feels right now. Anyway, I don't get a salary from some company or some support from investigators or some shit. I've done all this work on my own for so fucking long. The idea of someone coming into the safe space that I've created almost on my own. What safe space, dog? Give me a fucking break, okay? Like, we're still in this shit. It's not a fucking safe space. But whatever. But you have done a good job, like, cultivating a leftist following. Give me a goddamn break, though. Safe space. That I've created almost on my own because of the relentless presence on all these shows. Which, by the way, again, like, the reason why I reached out to Destiny was because I was like, man, I sure love the work that you do. I really love that you go after these fucking dudes. You and I both realized early on that this, like, Gamergate shit was going to turn into a giant problem. Like, I don't want to leak these. I don't want to leak this stuff. But, like, literally, that's, like, my first email to him. The first email I ever sent to Esteban Bonelli is me straight up being like, hey, man, I really love all the stuff that you've done. People wanted me to reach out to you. I think we have a similar opinion on like Gamergate and how like all these people have turned into right-wing chuds. And I really appreciate that you do the hard work. You take on the emotional labor and you do all of this shit. Anyway. And then you try to accuse me of not belonging here. Lol seems pretty shitty. Lowercase. You see why, though? I knew this was always going to happen this way. Do you know how frustrating it's been over the past year watching people in my fan base bleed over to Hasan because we share the same conclusions? Maybe people in your fan base bleed over to me not because we share the same conclusions, but because they find me to be an entertaining person. What a fucking, like, that's so, not only is the salary for some company shit is so awful, especially because, like, he knows I've defended him and he knows what my feelings are about what he's done and who he is until today when he, used the platform that he had from all the fucking drama clout to shit all over my entire career. But it's okay, right? Because he's salty, right? He's salty, so it's okay. Also, don't take any accountability for all the fucking lefties that you routinely banned or kicked out of your community and then told them to come to my community or to Chapo cells. Which, by the way, I banned some of those fucking dipshits too. Anyway. I've done all this work on my own and then tried to accuse me of not belonging here. I knew this was always going to happen this way. Do you know how frustrating it's been watching people in my fan base bleed over to Hasan because we share the same conclusions, even though I knew the entire time we were fundamentally different? I always said in gentler ways, oh, we're a lot different. I think we approach arguments way differently. I think we do things way differently. But the idea that we're going to be grouped together on Twitch just because we were both progressive is so frustrating. I'm sorry that you were... I'm glad that you did this, okay? I'm glad that you, like... not only for the past couple of months, made me out to be the fucking leftist, tanky, accelerationist, Bernie bro strawman, a Chapo cell strawman that you wanted to vilify in your community while also actively banning all the leftists in your community. But then now you, like, delivered the final blow by literally holding my entire career to account and engaging in, like, some of the most awful fucking things I've ever heard. So good job. You won that one, dude. You really separated yourself from me. It doesn't fucking matter because everyone still thinks we're both soy boy cucks. That is exactly what happens when you and I are both on the left of center. Okay? No one gives a fuck that, like, you think that I actually arrived at my conclusions first and then post hoc found justifications for it. No one gives a fuck that like you think that is what happened, or no one gives a fuck that you think that I'm trying to narrowly fit everything into my worldview or my ideology. You soy boy cuck. And I am one too, because we think you shouldn't shit on trans people for being fucking trans people. And that's how it works with a lot of apolitical dipshits on this platform.
I'm not God.
God, all this like morally lucky shit is so fucking frustrating. Like I like that like this rant is not is a reason alone for him to fucking do that. And still say that and still maintain the position that like, oh, we're still friends. We're still friends. Like, how can you write this, spend 5 hours on shitting on like every minute detail of my fucking videos that I've written from months ago, and I haven't even watched it yet, but the idea that, okay, now that I have to sit here and take the blame for any bad arguments he puts forth on pair with him in debates to be expected, I never wanted to be alongside Destiny in debates. I've said this numerous times. I never, ever, ever, ever want to be alongside Destiny in debates. What Destiny doesn't fucking realize, again, like what Destiny fucking doesn't realize is like me appearing alongside him and the shit that he gets from mainstream media about him being the kind of person who, got banned off Twitch for saying the F word or whatever the fuck, is actually looks bad for me too, because no one has the capacity to critically analyze all of the good fucking work that Destiny has done. But it doesn't matter. And I did it because one, of course, it was very helpful, and I am eternally grateful for all the nice things that Steven has done for me, which I mentioned in the, post or after this. But like for him to just like say that it's like embarrassing, or that, poor man, he had to take blame for bad arguments that I put forward. Yeah, because so many people are actually critically analyzing leftist commentary and saying, oh man, Hasan, like, oh man, Hasan, like you're really like this bad argument that Hasan put forward where he said schools instead of like resource officers at schools is really a mark on your reputation. Fuck this shit. Like he's acting like I'm literally roasting his entire career, and I wasn't. I literally just watched a whole video of his and said I disagree with what he said. Oh my God. Imagine, how can I say that Destiny is not being disingenuous when he openly admitted that his motivations for looking through the Kamala video was to showcase that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, because like because people got mad at him for just poo-pooing my perspective because I'm a Bernie bro or whatever. This is after he's ad hom me like crazy. He's made multiple comments about the fucking all women, going to New Zealand, etc. multiple times. I literally apologize for that. I was memeing alongside. I saw myself as a member of DGG and a member of Destiny's community, and as a fan, didn't know that this was something that like he was so upset about, so put off about, which after he told me that was the case, I straight up said, I'm sorry for saying that. I should not have said that. Destiny, talk fast, Ben Shapiro, etc. Sociopath. I've never, ever, ever, ever called him a sociopath. As a matter of fact, not only have I not called him a sociopath, I've shit on a person who was calling him a sociopath in my subreddit 2 days ago, or yesterday, last night. Someone said he was a fucking sociopath, and I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Just because he says he's a sociopath doesn't mean that you can say he's a sociopath. And you know that they're going to, when you say that here, they're going to use that and weaponize that against me and weaponize that against this community. And like, it's not right for you to say that. I don't even believe that Destiny's a sociopath. My entire point when I first met him was, my entire point when I fucking first met him was that he like lies about being a sociopath. He went through a few of your videos and called them garbage. Nice, dude. Nice.
Bro, your political knowledge, sense, and education are 10x that of Destiny's.
Like all of the
Wow,
same
wow.
style insults I hear from the alt-right all the time. Again, insinuating that I'm being homophobic or engaging in homophobia in a disingenuous fashion. Similar thing that the alt-right does to me. Literally right after the I don't get a platform from some company or some support from investigators or some shit. Jenk's nephew memes. So that's pretty cool that he said that. Again, I've never, like, the talk fast Ben Shapiro shit is not fucking ad hom. Okay? Ben Shapiro is, again, literally the most popular debater. The New York Times wrote a fucking puff piece on him, calling him the philosophical titan, the gladiator of a generation. When I say Ben Shapiro of the left, I don't mean that in a bad way, because I also think that the left is good. You said your TYT videos were garbage to be specific. Oh, thanks, dude. Thank you for the specificity. Like all of the same style insults I hear from the alt-right all the time. And I never return the same to him. Jenk's nephew, nepotism, frat boy, etc. I've never gone to these types of ad homs. Yeah, you did the Bernie bro, privilege ad hom, Bernie bro ad hom, LARPer ad hom, accelerationist, Bernie or bust. Fucking insane. You, like, your entire thing is, like, calling me a bad faith. Like, the reason why this fucking thing started was because you were butthurt. You were fucking butthurt about the Biden stuff. Oh, God, I gotta fucking find this video. I mean, it's a perfect summarization in the end of our debate where he just openly says that. Where is it?
I'm not God.
W.
Destiny, Obamacare, no, don't be upset, Hasan. Where is this? Where the fuck did it go? I can't find it in the subreddit. God damn it. Oh, here.
Okay, listen, I love you very much. We don't have to go through the whole thing,
No. I would love to continue.
Initially, listen. Like a few weeks ago, we got into a big argument because I said that I felt like people that pull for Bernie will pull shit way the fuck out of their ass to shit all over other Democratic candidates. And I got a lot of heat from your community and my community in regards to that because apparently you look into people like Biden way more than I do. And I have no business saying something like that when I've only looked into a few points of yours that I disagreed with. So when this Kamala Harris video came out, I decided to spend my 3-hour flight looking at every single point of the video, and most of these have been like pretty grossly misrepresented on like at least one point. So I mean, like I guess that's just my frustration that there's like 35 minutes of like these totally.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, but you know, I prescribe bad faith to people, which is fine, I guess. You know, I'm doing it out of I'm doing it out of just baseless speculation. Right? Right? Totally right? Right? Right, guys? My man kept that in the back of his dome for 3 weeks. And in the first free opportunity he had, he's like, I'm going to fucking destroy him. You called him a bad faith actor because he's criticizing your video? No, I call him a bad faith actor because he's doing everything he possibly can to fucking go through the minutia of a video and has tried to use that as a jump off point and successfully did use that as a jump off point to shit on every single fucking thing I've done thus far. Why are you not engaging with any of the points? We're gonna get to that. We're doing this already. I've introduced him to multiple podcasts. Trainwrecks, Raj Patel, false. I went on Raj Patel because Alabrel asked me to go on Raj Patel, and then Raj asked me to ask Destiny. So technically, the opposite of that happened. I don't know about the Trainwreck stuff. I guess he did help me with that. He helped me so much. So this is like so pathetic. He helped me so fucking much that it's so pathetic for him to lie this way. Like, it's insane. Like, why? Why would he do this? I don't understand. I love this person. I talked positively about him all the fucking time. So why? Why would he do all of this? Why would he like have so much fucking pent up frustration about me, like deep down inside, without saying anything? And if you think that I'm wrong or lying or being a fucking victim, Andy, you have to be like, this has to be the first time you've ever come onto my stream. Helped him grow his fan base when we started talking on Twitch. That's where a lot of his fans come from now. Yeah, of course. And to get this much shit back because I wanted to disagree with the video, meh, okay, I'm done. Okay. I said, holy shit, this is legit. This legitimately made me sad. Me saying that Destiny's a recent political streamer was 100% an ad aham. And in a convo about ad hom, specifically privileged, demonstrate how hurtful they can be coming from a friend or an ex-friend, I don't know. I obviously respect and admire Destiny and have said this probably on every single stream I've ever streamed since meeting him. To think that I don't acknowledge and routinely talk about the tremendously positive impact he has had on the gaming community, not just on Twitch, but all over the internet, is insane when I talked about his impact on one of the largest Patreon podcasts, which he apparently hates, which was the same episode Kotaku wrote about, by the way, about how I was making Twitch a safe space or whatever. Here's another instance of me not giving Destiny the credit he deserves. Here's me not defending him against the gross mischaracterizations where I literally ended up DMing the writer because I knew him. I don't like Yang's UBI proposal, but the irony here is that both Yang and Destiny have been effective in converting alt-right kiddies and have suffered the consequences for it by more radical members doxing and brigading old posts like the ones BuzzFeed sloppily referenced. Liberals don't understand internet culture and are hyper-focused on it, Paul, so they easily get duped by a bad faith actor, weaponizing social justice against those who are legitimately doing great work. Also, I went on Raj because Alabrel and Izzy got me to go on, and then Raj asked me to reach out to you to go on, which doesn't even matter because you have done so much more for me and the gaming space, which I acknowledge all the time. I'm incredibly fortunate that Destiny helped me with growth on Twitch and have tried to pay him back in kind every single time that I've had an opportunity to do so. I don't even think I ever can. Neo Destiny, I don't know if you're being emotional right now and can't see that, but it really sucks that you feel this way. Obviously, I wouldn't get this fucking emotional over simple disagreements if I didn't respect you and admire you, man. What the fuck? As far as debates go, my position on them being purely for spectacle has always been the same, but I guess maybe I hadn't made it clear for this community.
Turkton boss god Dusty Yokter. Not a patriot, but still kinda true sometimes.
I did take him to the Michael Brooks show. I introduced him to Anna Kasparian there. I introduced him to H. Bomber. I introduced him to Kyle Kalinske. So we reviewed your video to demonstrate that he was in fact correct and went deep. Then someone in your chat told you he was reviewing it. You guys got on a call together. You got super defensive, which I totally understand. Because if someone was shitting all over my work to prove a point, even if they were right, it would bother me. You ad-homed the shit out of him in that discussion, called him an authoritarian on the level of Stalin. No, I said that he's unironically making a Stalin-esque authoritarian meme here when he says the ends justify the means. This is like exactly what Destiny does. This is my point.
This is rough, but I hope you guys make up.
This is precisely my point. When Destiny makes rape analogies, or when Destiny makes brings out these false dilemmas, you guys always assume like the principle is always like, oh well, Destiny is actually morally consistent, so he must be operating in good faith. And it's not just like him trying to win over a fucking debate. But when I do the exact same thing where I say, oh, you're saying the ends justify the means under these circumstances. So what about putting a gun to the head of every child to forcibly send him to school? That would increase attendance by 100%. Well, that's like a Stalinist perspective right there.
Alexa,
And people
play
turn around and they're like, oh, Hasan, I can't believe you're fucking saying this. It's so disgusting. Like, how? How? Told him he was playing semantics games, beating you with rhetoric, and often used ad hom by alt-right people who are losing debates with Destiny. He did. He did. He overwhelmed me with rhetoric. He overwhelmed me with insane hypotheticals and claimed that he was just trying to test out my moral system, which then his community weaponized as memes as though, like, I actually think that, children should fucking die.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control.
And by the way,
I apologize for that.
That fucking statement was after he said, like, his arguments were, my arguments were similar to a race realist. Like, which he admitted, he said, to piss me off. Wouldn't you consider that bad faith? The fact that he admitted that he said it because he was frustrated with me? Why is it always justified when Destiny does shit, but the same kind of criticism is like infinitely applied infinitely more to me? Dude, look up the post totalitarianism and send kids to the school in the subreddit. I wrote a post about the very thing you just mentioned. I think what you don't understand is that even in that example, the act of putting a gun to children's head is in itself a bad end. Oh, yeah? Sending mothers to jail isn't, though? Sending mothers to jail, separating them from their children, does not cause irreparable harm to the mother and also the child? Really? Really? That is a justifiable means? Or is it because Destiny made that argument? And by the way, this doesn't mean that like all the right-wingers were always correct when they said Destiny ad homs or whatever the fuck. No, this doesn't apply in every circumstance. We can go debate by debate and see if like there are instances where like Destiny genuinely feels backed into a corner. But I have seen him do this in arguments where like, I mean, he literally does. The most common one is him coming in when we used to put those fucking shit-ass takes, those shit-ass fucking Twitter takes, which no one in his community is going to defend. Like, the workers are dumb, all these other memes, and then double down on them. Did I go up and say, hey, why are you being a bad faith centrist bootlicker? No, I reached out to him and I said, hey man, why are you saying these things? Let's actually talk about this. But no, he was doing a kitty glove, right? Like he was doing kitty gloves with me. Me, on the other hand, constantly defending him, both publicly and privately, all the fucking time. And me, I'm actually, Hasan exposed? The fuck is this? No mothers went to jail, though, dipshit? Oh, okay, that's okay then. Threatening mothers with police officers is okay, as long as, you don't really act on it, right? Just like, Obama-era child detention centers are okay. No one will ever act on, you can write any law you want, as long as, no one actually follows through with it all the way. What a fucking pathetic argument that is. Anyway, God, just I thought this is a community that loved, I thought this was a community that loved critical thinking. And yet, It just sure looks like a lot of people are just sycophants. And mothers were arrested, by the way. Anyway, we're going to get to that. Hold on. We didn't finish this. I never called him a Stalinist. I said his argument was like a his argument is like an authoritarian one, and it's Stalin-esque.
If you seriously think a mom in prison is worse than a kid never going to school, you're just wrong. Please stop. No one can seriously think that.
Again, this is a consequence of the false dilemma that Destiny painted in his hypotheticals, where he was testing out the morality of my systems. I mean, testing out the boundaries of my moral systems, right? There are a million different things that you can do, which I mentioned in that debate, that you should do, and it's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be up to the fucking district attorney to weaponize state violence. Which, by the way, he called me a fucking libertarian in that under that circumstance too. But no, that's fine. Him saying like you sound like a libertarian. Just these people just repeat like all of Destiny's fucking points. Now again, I totally get why you'd react that way, but when you came on here and made a giant post continuing the bullshit saying you should either platform me to be consistent, like, come on, bro, that's some childish my feelings are hurt bullshit. No, how is that childish? You're hurting my feelings bullshit. If he genuinely thinks that I am a dishonest actor, then he should follow through on his previous protocol of claiming that dishonest actors who are willingly and purposely spreading misinformation should get deplatformed. Why is he not doing that? I'm just testing his consistency, dude. You know? It's fine when he does it. You're both wrong. You probably shouldn't have taken your video on to prove a point, and you shouldn't have acted so emotionally and engaged in bad faith argumentation. How the fuck did I engage in bad faith argumentation? If he wanted to reform me, he could have been like, hey,
Excuse me.
I want to
sorry.
talk to you about your
I'm out of
last
control.
video.
I
Like, hit me up
apologize for
privately and not made a fucking spectacle of it. Or even when we were having a conversation, he shouldn't have engaged in like insane fucking hypotheticals that literally had nothing to do with the matter at hand. These motherfuckers are such both sidists, fence-sitting middleists. Like, it's crazy. That's not what you do to your friend, by the way. Anyway, yeah, it's fine. You're both wrong. You probably shouldn't have taken your video to prove a point. But whatever. Can't we just leave it at you're both wrong? Apologize to each other. You first, because that's what the bigger short joke man would do. And then, as I've suggested to you before on Reddit, maybe you should seek counseling or therapy to work on your overly emotional reactions to things and practice mindfulness. And maybe he can make a similar promise to affect change, like not reviewing your shit with a particular aim in mind, like proving he was right. Boom, an apology and a promise to better ourselves. Yeah, okay, yeah, thanks, thanks for the suggestion on a post where I'm being emotional, where I'm being really emotional and just going buck wild and lying. Thank you for not patronizing me with a post where I'm being emotional and like even literally fucking lying about your friend. You need help, Hasan. See, there are fucking morons in here who are still saying I'm spreading misinformation, dude. Like, like this is what I mean. And it's always going to happen. Remember when he said, I don't care about freedom? Yeah. So many people in his community are now like, oh, Hasan is just a bad faith actor, because you know that every time he makes a point, They just repeat it verbatim. They just repeat it fucking verbatim. I reached out to him. I reached out to him before all of this happened, where I sent him a DM, which he never responded to. I said, hey, man, just so you know. Wait, I'll just fucking read it. Here. Yesterday, when in the aftermath of that debate, I said, okay, so a couple things. Would love to continue this convo with you, and we'll try not to get frustrated. But just remember that when we have these conversations, whether it's to win an argument or if you genuinely think I'm a bad faith actor spreading false info on purpose, some of these sentiments in the heat of battle stick forever. No response. So, like, don't fucking tell me to make concessions after this dude like blew his fucking load over my entire career because he was upset that I said he argues in bad faith sometimes. Just to win arguments. And you guys all know this too. Like, he literally doubles down every single time. Okay, people who are like memeing about how I'm gonna kill myself or whatever, please insta-ban moderators.
About the truancy thing, you'll appreciate my effort posto, and Ram is gloating on Twitter and comparing himself to Chomsky BTW. Narcissistic little shit.
God, please no mention of Ren. Please. Okay, I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna leave this post up and then I'm gonna pee, okay? I'll be back. I have to pee. Fuck. Anyway. Bro, okay. NW Wood is like NM Wood or whatever the fuck is like the most annoying person that just has a total fucking hard-on rage boner for me. Him and like the other, there's another like Lauren name on the Reddit that like comment on every fucking drama thing. Get wrecked, you fucking dipshit. Secondly, like literally in your criticism, you are admitting that Destiny is also equally at fault. Like what a silly fucking criticism that was. Like why do you think that that's smart? The second reason is because candidates want to make money, which includes Bernie Sanders as well. If that's what you wanted to hear from me. Where is it? The same person who kept asking, like, why do candidates write a book? Some candidates, like some presidential candidates, literally, the joke is some presidential candidates literally run just to write a book so they can make money.
Hi, Dad.
And increase their clout. That's the ongoing meme amongst like journalists who are covering the DNC and I mean not the DNC, sorry, the. Can we stop mentioning Emmy? I don't think she's done anything bad recently, so like I have no interest in like continuing that conversation at all. I said this already. Like if she genuinely feels like she fucked up and whatever and is not gonna do shitty things in the future, who cares? Like please stop mentioning that. We're going to go through Destiny's points in a second. Totalitarianism, Destiny read my comment off DG chat. Your argument defending the whole cops enforcing attendance strategy is so revealing because the closest approximate system where you manage a non-violent socioeconomic problem with state violence, psychological trauma, and terror is fascism LMAO, right down to the disproportionate targeting of minorities. He went off on it a bit without understanding where I'm coming from, which was to be expected. I did add that Destiny, except you went into a false dichotomy. You just said cops need to be yeeted out of the equation and replaced with a proper social intervention. But no, we get your crude consequentialism that hints at the logic validating a police state. And all well and good, I said in my piece, and didn't expect it to go anywhere. Well, except that a few minutes later, Destiny was easily contemplating having the fucking military enforce truancy laws to the point of considering a system where the state can outright kidnap kids from their parents because truancy is tantamount to child abuse. Vague paraphrase. I wish I had the clips right now. I heard this too. I heard he was like, I mean, people are going to say he was just memeing and it doesn't matter. Obviously, no one is, and he probably was. He probably didn't consider the implications of his statement, like what he actually meant. But, you know, no one will ever be as charitable to me in a circumstance where, like, we're fucking having a very passionate back and forth where Destiny's like, oh, well, would you allow a rapist to call a cop? I just want to say make this point. If your system is going to rely on strict normative standards because you care deeply about education and the development of the minds of young people, but then you can entertain brutalizing disadvantaged families with a state monopoly of violence to impose your desired state of affairs, then you might hold an extremely dangerous ideology whose implications you've not thought through at all. Criminalizing poverty won't get you the results you want, Stephen. You're going to create an even more pain and misery with this moralistic punitive justice framework that fails to incorporate the question of intersectionality. Literally worded infinitely better than I ever could, but that's what I said. Like, achieving a 20% boost in attendance without even thinking about the systems of oppression you're justifying to get the short-term good consequences is how you get horrible societal consequences further down the line. Literally what I mentioned in the debate. Literally what I mentioned in the fucking debate, where I was like, this is precisely what happens with our punitive draconian laws, our punitive criminal justice system, and the carceral state that we've gotten to. I didn't say it like this because it's not fucking written out. Again, but that's precisely what I said. We're gonna go over the debate. Hold on. Please expand your horizons. Please expand your horizons and stop with the false dilemmas. The narrow worldview you're dabbling into is reactionary as fuck, whether you realize it or not. Positive suggestion: Google Marianne Kaba and get her on for a chat. Maybe we should get you to see things differently. I know you can do better than this, buddy. TLDR: Steven is morally lucky. Pepe. Nice upvoting. I don't even know if I would accept an apology over this, and I definitely don't think that. What is this? That's funny. I don't think that I don't think that Destiny would ever apologize regardless. Like a big look, I admit my fucking weaknesses all the time. I have a lot of pride. Okay? I have a lot of fucking pride. I'm super proud. It's definitely a problem. I'm super emotional. I'm super fucking emotional. I get heated as fuck. I can't fling together fucking 3 cohesive sentences to actually put forward my point, which will be beautiful if I were able to do that, right? I mean, these are all things that I'm working on and trying to get better at, and I think I have gotten a little bit better at, okay? Maybe not the emotional part, because obviously I'm still very heated all the fucking time. But listen, I admit those things, and I actively try to change them. Destiny, on the other hand, despite being very intelligent, very logical, and doing like being very good, and like being a very good debater, has an insane amount of shortcomings as well, like his fragile ego, or well, it's not so fragile, but like once it hits a certain boiling point, it fucking turns the fuck off. His constant contrarian mindset, where he like always feels the need to be oppositional to whoever the fuck he's talking to, from years and years of only engaging people politically in debates, and then and lastly,
I still love
like
you,
his
nephew.
inability,
Smile, smile,
his
smile.
absolute fucking inability to ever admit mistakes, like especially in a debate. I gave Destiny a concession right off the bat, something that people just will not fucking see on my end. I said, "You're right. I probably should have worded this better." And Destiny was like, "That's not enough. That is an entirely different point that you made, and I'm gonna fucking hammer that." I literally said that. Like I said, "You're right. I should have worded it differently." That concession was a mistake. At least the way you made the concession, he just took off from there. Yeah, I guess. But it doesn't matter. Concessions don't matter in a debate. Mr. Mooton's take on Hasan Destiny drama. Shut up, right to bear arms, lol. You were fucking defending me, okay? Don't ever let anyone forget that, all right? I don't know what Mr. Mooton said. That. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, dude. Unmodded. Just fucking unmodded, dude. Fuck you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
Okay. Hey, stop. Stop licking your wound. I'm talking to you. I heard you licking. Get over here. Come here right now. Come here. Idiot. You're going to cause additional problems with your infected wound, sir. God damn it. Emotional and verbal abuse of an animal. Yeah, I know. By the way, fucking get those goddamn subscriptions going. I have fucking 5,000 people. I better get some fucking bullshit out of that. Something out of this goddamn drama. What the fuck is this, huh? What do you think? No free rides, bitch. I thought you guys were all fucking capitalists. Capitalist realists. What is this shit, huh? Yeah. Communism. Here. Another fucking yoink meme. Thank you, Napster Scared. Thank you for the bits, J-Bob. Thank you, Chocolate Rubber Ducky, for the Prime subscription. Hey, thank you, NAYRB, for the 5 Tier 1 gift subs. Thank you, Fabulous12. Thank you, Tugoon. Thank you, Molanin. Fuck. Anyway, thank you, NAYRB, for the... Where the fuck were we? Wait, my audio's fucked again? Can't hear your PC audio again? Why does this keep happening, dude?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out.
You can't hear any of that. Are you hearing the music right now, or is it just from my microphone? Wait, what? You can't just try and undermine the entire LGBT community and then claim you didn't word it correctly? Once something is done, then damage has been done as well. Apologies can only go so far. What? What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, it's just you can hear it from the mic. Okay.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
What the fuck was that even? What was that?
Excuse me.
What does that even mean?
I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
Okay, I can't hear anything. I have to shut the stream off and then turn it back on. Dude, if you let that bait you, I didn't even understand what that meant. Like, I wish I would let it bait me if I knew what that meant. Can you hear the music or no? Can you hear the music or do you only hear it from my speakers? Yeah, okay. So obviously I have to fucking turn off my stream again, or unless, like, I guess maybe I could change it. Wait, hold on. Do you hear it now? Still no music? Oh, fuck. God damn it. This is a fucking slobs problem that happens, like, recently. It's like a new thing. And like, just changing the audio... changing the audio doesn't work.
I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
Do you hear it now? It's Streamlabs OBS. It's slobs. Okay, I'm turning off the stream and then turning it back on, okay? Hold on.